here in this building. All he did was come here to cause trouble. Remember, he tried to get the show shut down. He made himself a referee for the Cage of Death. What could this man's agenda be here tonight at the new CZW Arena?
Eric Gargiulo, I got news for you. Rebel is employed by the Pennsylvania State Athletic Commission, and who knows what he has planned for CZW here tonight.
He's an assistant to Frank Pellet, for goodness sake. Was he assistant helping him change his diapers too?
Depends, Eric, depends, not diapers.
All right.
Well, they do, Gargiulo.
It's neither here nor there. I feel like I'm listening to sports radio in there.
Yeah, the Eagles got lucky today, Eric. Well, that's true, Eric. They are a bunch of Philadelphia pathetic idiots.
I'll take a room full of idiots over him wrestling any day of the week, John House. All right, this is a representative of the commission, John House.
I feel bad for his sister.
He's introducing the World Heavyweight Champion of Combat Zone Wrestling, John House, and that man is Justice Payne.
And if you're going to say it, Gargiulo, you say it right. The greatest World Heavyweight Champion that CZW has ever known, Gargiulo.
Absolutely, I agree 100%. He is our franchise player, the ace of our company. That is Justice Payne.
How many world champions have ever issued an open challenge to anyone across this globe, Gargiulo?
Anyone in this country, anybody out of this country. Could be somebody from Mars, could be somebody in CZW, out of CZW. It could be literally anybody.
Undisputed.
Seems like these two have patched things up from about a year ago.
Our Grand Slam champion, Gargiulo.
Absolutely. Maybe the most resilient wrestler in CZW. And listen to this crowd, John House.
I don't know why they're chanting for White Peter. He can't get the job done. Yeah, he's got to bust his shoulder, Eric.
Courtesy of the champ.
Still the champion.
I think I heard him.
Without a scratch, too.
I think I heard that too.
They're still not happy, Eric.
He's just fresh back from a successful tour of Japan, John.
Very successful.
So it's true.
These people must be talking about themselves, Eric. We are in Philadelphia.
What?
Yeah, he don't feel like it.
You gotta be kidding me. What, did he leave his cojones in Japan with him? What? A later date since when? Eric, what? Listen to that music. Listen to that music, John House. That happens to be Justice Payne's biggest rival of all time. He is hardcore Nick Gage, and he's ready to fight. Look at him. It looks like we got a man that's going to answer a challenge.
This is not good, Gargiulo.
They started it all in this building back in May of '99. Pioneers of the company.
Nick Gage, the very first CZW World Heavyweight Champion.
Absolutely. And it's all we're going to see.
He wants it back, Gargiulo.
These two have not met one-on-one in well over a year. Nick Gage, of course, has another match scheduled this evening, so it looks like he's going to be doing double duty. He's going to do it!
He wants to be the man!
Again!
But the champ said he's taking the night off, Eric.
Tonight, the bell comes back where it's stored. The brand engages first.
Oh, wait a minute, what's he doing, Eric?
Looks like he's asserting. All right, get out of here. It's an open challenge. Anybody can walk in there. What are they doing?
Eric Arjulo seems like Nick Gage wants 2 matches tonight.
It's an open challenge. He said it. Anybody can challenge him. He's the one that did it.
Look at the champ. The champ wants him. Look at him.
They can barely hold him back. This is a mockery. This is a disgrace. Our champion makes me sick.
What do you mean he makes you sick?
I'm ashamed of him. I'm ashamed of our world champion, John House.
Justice Payne would tear apart Nick Gage.
Are you kidding me?
Look at the champion.
Nick Gage would kill him. Nick Gage would literally kill him.
Nick Gage wants 2 matches. He's a sick, sick man.
It's an open challenge. Anybody can challenge him.
Oh, look at the champ calling him out.
Anybody?
What's this fan doing?
Wait a minute! That's not a fan! That's not a fan!
Who is that?
Who is that? That's Messiah! That's Messiah! He's a former world heavyweight champion in that porno company, XPW. As a matter of fact, John House, he never even lost that world championship belt.
Wait a minute! So we're gonna have maybe title for title?
We very well could. That's Messiah! Messiah is in CZW!
Out of nowhere, he sucker punched our champion. You should be outraged, Gargiulo. Wow!
It looks like our champion just got pumped out.
Did you hear what he just said to him?
I sure did. He is the Messiah, John House. We got ourselves a title match, John House. Messiah, and we're happy to have you. Maybe we can put the belt on you after tonight. You can beat our champion, and we can all have a champion that we are proud of.
We already have a champion we're proud of, Eric.
And wait a minute, Justice Payne now, all over Messiah.
There's that resilience we talked about earlier.
Resilience, my ass. We got problems here.
Do you know what this means, Eric? Title for title, finally.
Well, he can't officially defend that belt, but he never lost the belt. Messiah is a title holder, a former World Heavyweight Championship title holder over that porno company in Southern California, XPW. But the key is, oh boy, you know a lot about that.
But you know a lot about porno.
Well,
wait a minute!
And Messiah all over Justice Payne. Messiah never lost that belt. He was fired from that company.
Look at Justice Payne, he's outraged.
Justice Payne.
He's an animal. He wants Messiah. He is so sick and tired of hearing talks about Messiah, what he would do to the champ. Well, just look at the champ.
Messiah out in California. All he ever heard about was CZW this, CZW that. It had to drive him nuts. Well, tonight he enters the zone. Take a look at your champion now.
Yeah, you take a look at our champion. He is our champion, and you should be proud of him.
Look at him shoving security around. Look at that big bully. What a maniac, that psychopath. Softcore Connection, John House, for the first time in several months. They are here as a unit, together. We've seen them apart and not so successful, may I add. But tonight, they are back together the first time we have seen Z-Barr and Nick Burke together as a team in quite some time on Thank You TV.
You're absolutely right, Eric Gargiulo. There's a whole lot of blaming going on inside the Softcore Connection. Z-Barr is blaming Nick Burke for that hardcore match that he had with Mondo back at the Cage of Death. But Nick Burke has promised me that the Softcore Connection is back as a unit.
John House, not only that, did you notice Z-Barr shaking the hand of Pennsylvania Athletic Commissioner Frank Pallett as he came to the ring, that turncoat? And what Z-Barr is holding in his hands, he was recently voted by the fans out there on CZWWrestling.com the most hated wrestler in CZW, and he wears that badge proudly.
And Eric, who is number 2?
You couldn't even beat Z-Barr in that awards contest.
And speaking of being proud, there is a man we should be proud of, Eric Gargiulo, Nick Burke, former World Heavyweight Champion, former Iron Man Champion.
First of all, I want to congratulate Z-Barr on getting those slow. Wait, those heated? Never mind. I would like to explain why Kashmir
They don't want to hear it, John House. They do not want to hear it.
Oh, we want to hear it. I want to hear it.
Seems like once again Nick Burke has lost control over his Softcore Connection.
I don't think you heard him, Eric. He has demanded High Street show his face back here.
Oh, I heard him. Chris Divine and, Quiet Storm, Brian Excel and Chris Divine coming to the ring together. Which combination of the three is it going to be against the Softcore Connection?
And Eric Gargiulo, if you want to talk about teams and people in this company that have been held back, it is Divine Storm. They get no respect from this company. Quiet Storm defeated Ruckus back a couple of months ago in Seoul to get his shot at the junior heavyweight title, and he still has not gotten his title shot.
Well, I happen to agree with you on that point, but no respect. Last month, they were here in an elimination match against the Spanish announce team. That means they had a number of chances to get the job done. You know what happened? They lost.
What are you talking about? I don't even remember that match, Eric.
They were all eliminated by the Spanish announce team.
And you have to agree with me, Eric. Divine Storm, one of the most fundamentally sound tag teams that we have here at CZW.
Absolutely. This is going to be one hell of a matchup, very competitive here.
And from the way it looks, Divine Storm has to have the advantage because they have Brian Excel at ringside.
John House, these teams have met in six-man tags as part of three-way dances, but the combination of Nick Burke and Z-Barr and, of course, Divine Storm have never wrestled each other in a 2-on-2 tag team encounter. The problem with Divine Storm, John, is that they have the monkey on the back of the Spanish announce team. They have not been able to beat the Spanish announce team. And until they get that monkey off their back, they will not move forward here at CZW. How successful were they when the Spanish announce team were no longer allowed here in Combat Zone Wrestling, courtesy of your friend Lobo, they were a lot more successful than since the Spanish announce team returned.
I got news for you, Eric Gargiulo. Divine Storm has been very successful here in CZW, and you should start acknowledging that. You're the only one that doesn't.
Because I call it down the middle, I call the facts. The fact of the matter is, John, that since the Spanish announce team returned, Divine Storm and XL have been more concerned with beating them than advancing in the rankings, getting a title shot. They have yet to receive a tag team title shot. As you said, Quiet Storm, who did defeat Ruckus, I'll give you that, with the help of Trent, of course, has not received a title shot. What?
You know, Eric, you see things for how you want to see them, and I see things for how they really are. And Quiet Storm pulled off a clean victory over Ruckus just a couple of months ago in Seoul.
Well, we go to clean to Z-Barr in the ring, who's starting it off with Chris Divine. Going to work right on the arm. Z-Barr does not want to get into a contest of technical wrestling with Divine and Storm, because if he does, he's going to get outwitted and out-wrestled pretty quickly.
Oh, you think so?
I think so.
He's been trained by the former World Heavyweight Champion, Nick Burke, Eric.
The former World Champion, all right, enough of the gyrations in there. The former World Champion has had problems of his own as of late. Held the Iron Man Championship for about a minute recently in CZW before he was defeated. A minute.
He had that title for 3 months, 90 days, Eric.
Before he was defeated in his very first title defense against Sick Nick Mondo, and of course the brand new champion, Adam Flash.
And I got news for you. When Nick Burke was champion, he was one of our most fightingest CZW Iron Man Softcore champions.
He only defended the belt.
No.
He only defended the belt once. What are you talking about? Z-Barr slowing things down with a side headlock. Very good move on his part.
This match ought to determine some of the rankings here in CZW. We have a debacle, Eric.
A debacle?
We have a lot of tag teams here in
that word. Big hip toss.
And Divine Storm feels shafted. How come they're never in #1 contender match?
I don't know. I don't make the rankings around here. Maybe because they can't beat the Spanish announce team. Right now, both teams trying to set the pace. The thing about the Softcore connection is that they do not want to turn the pace up with Divine Storm. They want to make sure that Divine Storm, they want to slow the pace down. They want to keep it to their level. They want to hold. They want to stop them with moves and submissions and not let them get on a roll here, because once they do, Divine Storm can end this pretty quickly. And he just slapped him. He just slapped the white stuff right out of his mouth.
Oh, does that offend you, Eric Gargiulo?
What's that?
No, what the Softcore's got to do is keep Divine Storm grounded. Plain and simple. Keep him on the mat.
Brian Logan having a hard time in there asserting his authority.
I think Brian Logan is doing a tremendous job during this match.
Nick Burke is having a lot of problems as of late. Of course, the Softcore connection together here in this match for the first time in a long time. As of late, they have not been successful since they have tried to split apart. Nick Burke, of course, lost a belt in his very first defense. Z-Barr has not won a match. Remember, he lost to Man Mondo here last month. And of course, Ty Street has been involved with a wrestler that nobody even knows who he is. He's wrestling himself.
Eric, Nick Burke has guaranteed me that the Softcore connection is back as a team. They're back as a unit.
Nick Burke and Quiet Storm trading covers. And Nick Burke is keeping up with the very agile Quiet Storm.
You sound like you're impressed with Nick Burke's speed.
Absolutely. I asked Quiet Storm what he was going to do as far as a strategy for the match. And you know what he said, John?
Silent but deadly. What?
Nothing. He didn't say anything at all. He's just quiet.
He don't like you, Eric.
No, he's just quiet.
Frankly, I don't blame him.
Right now, the Softcore connection catching Divine Storm. Brian XL up, and that's what you're going to watch out for. It's almost like a handicap match.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. With Brian XL on the outside, they'll never even see it coming, Gargiulo.
Who do you think the fans want to win this one?
You think I care who the fans want to win this one?
Probably not. Tope con Hilo.
What's Brian XL signaling for?
Brian XL is lethal. He can do anything. One of the toughest guys in our locker room, believe it or not.
Divine Storm is smart. They took it right to the outside to work over the Softcore connection and take them out of their element, which is outside of the ring.
Quiet Storm now all over the former world champion, the former Iron Man champion, Nick Burke. Softcore connection gets swung right into each other. Probably not the first time they bumped into each other tonight before and after the show. Setting up for Brian XL. Oh, whoa! You gotta be kidding me.
Eric, he took everybody out with that.
Springboard into a swanton.
Quiet Storm the first to his feet, Eric. And And that's a good thing for Divine Storm.
They're not here to fool around tonight. They were embarrassed last month by the Spanish announce team. They are here to make a statement as well as the Softcore Connection.
Respect is what they want.
Softcore Connection went 0-3 in their matches here last month. They too want to gain some respect.
You know, how come you always got to bring that up anyway when someone loses all the time? You never point out the good in people like I do.
Look at the breast edge chops from Quiet Storm and Z-Barr, and it's not even phasing him.
Big Storm, feel those
Big
chops,
Storm.
Z-Barr.
Absolutely not. Same up. Big clothesline took him right off his feet.
And that was with the left hand. Now that is called a lariat when it is done with the left hand.
When did you learn that?
I learned a lot.
Somebody better call Z-Bar's mommy and tell him he's not coming.
Traveling with Harley Race and Dick Murdoch.
Are you kidding me? 69? What were you, 40 back then?
Beautiful submission hold here, applied by Quiet Storm.
Quiet Storm now hits the spinal shock. And the spine has just been shocked on Z-Barr. As I was saying before you interrupted me, somebody better call Z-Bar's mommy and tell him he's not coming home tonight.
I ain't calling his mommy, Eric. He just had his neck broke.
You want to call his mommy. I know you do.
Nonchalant cover there by Quiet Storm.
Probably not the best strategy in the world. Nick Burke there taking a cheap shot.
Great presence of mind by Nick Burke to enter the ring and get Brian Logan's attention, so he didn't even get a chance to go down and make a 3 count.
Absolutely Quiet Storm sending in Z-Barr. They're tagging at Brian XL. I didn't even realize he was a legal man in this match.
Oh, he's legal. He's legal. So was that forearm smash was legal.
Ty Street was supposed to be here. Nobody knows where Ty Street is. I've heard injured. I've heard he's no-showed. I've heard 4 flat tires. I've heard every excuse in the book. But the bottom line is he's not here. And look at him rolling over with that Northern Light suplex. Cross-arm breaker. Cross-arm breaker.
Beautiful move there by Brian XL. He took it right into a submission hold, and he has grounded Z-Barr.
Nick Burke now, some would say out of the combination of the Softcore Connection that Nick Burke and Z-Barr has been the most successful, the most formidable of all combinations.
How could you say that, Eric?
I just did.
Because it's true.
Brian XL now picking up Z-Barr. Another chop.
A big chop there by Brian XL. Staggered back the much heavier Z-Barr.
Absolutely, Chris Divine. Speaking of size, the only time that Divine Storm and XL get a size advantage is when they tag in Chris Divine. Big Northern Light suplex takes a page right out of the book of Brian XL. Not enough to put away Z-Barr.
Big 2 count there.
Looks like Z-Barr is a little bit ill-prepared for this matchup. Saito suplex drops him right on his head.
Smart move by Divine Storm. They are staying on the neck of Z-Barr. They pick one body part and they stay on it, Gargiulo. Big power bomb.
Look at that power bomb. And look at the pin. The kick out. I've seen more offense from a Rock than Z-Barr in this
Very
matchup.
slow count there by Brian Logan. That should have been over. That should have been a 3 count.
Let the Nick Burke just bring in his pet Rock next time as the partner.
Chris Divine stomping on the neck of Z-Barr. Eric Gargiulo, if they stay on the neck of Z-Barr, it's over.
Absolutely. Do you believe that Z-Barr was once a member of the Big Deals with Zandig and Trent Acid way back when?
That was a long, long time ago, Gargiulo.
Look at that kick. Big Yakuza kick. Again, another one of those kicks. Look at the agility of Brian XL, like a cat. Fluff! Fluff! He just got fluffed like you did last night, Sean.
Z-Barr hits the fluff, and Eric Gargiulo, have you ever been fluffed?
Not in the last 24 hours.
Sure.
Nick Burke now with the tag. It looks like Brian Logan didn't see it. Divine Storm now all over Z-Barr. They have made a mockery out of Z-Barr. It looks like Divine Storm just got systematically broken down. Systematic breakdown. The Softcore Connection. The momentum now looks like it's going to go the side of Nick Burke and Z-Barr.
That one move changed the whole tide of this match into the favor of the Softcore Connection.
You know, the only time that they hit that high five was when Nick Burke won that Iron Man Championship. German suplex.
It looks like Nick Burke is giving Quiet Storm a taste of his own medicine.
German suplex.
Wait a minute. Look at the face of Nick Burke. He can't believe it.
Burke hits a version of his, excuse me, the Burkulator.
That knocked the wind right out of Quiet Storm.
Nick Burke's Looks like he may have lost his balance on that one.
Big save there by Chris Divine. Now Nick Burke is all alone with Divine Storm and Brian XL, which is not good, Gargiulo.
They could pick him apart in an instant. Double hip toss. We've seen them do this many times.
And who double and triple teams their opponents better than Divine Storm and Brian XL?
The Spanish announce team.
Nobody, Gargiulo.
The Spanish announce team.
Nobody.
Set up Nick Burke for something here. Nick Burke looks pretty scared. You know, I hope that Burke goes back. Oh, Salt! You're gonna be kidding me! You're gonna be kidding me!
That should be it.
I hope Burke goes back to singles competition because he's not having that much success tonight as a team.
Z-Barr came in and he had to make the save, Eric. That was the beginning of the end for Nick Burke.
And Z-Barr, like a one-man wrecking machine.
Big headbutt there to Brian XL. He whips him into the corner.
Z-Barr now all over the entire team. Brian XL up with a Hurricane Rana.
That's one way to clean house.
Big Z-Barr up. Ruckus!
Oh! Oh! Wait! There's Ty Street!
That's not Ty Street!
That's Ty Street!
That's the man that nobody knows who his name is. But it's not Ty Street. Brian Logan outside checking out Z-Barr. Maybe asking him for a date.
There's Ty Street, Eric. I knew he'd show up.
That's not
I
Ty
knew he would
Street.
not let the Softcore connection down.
Now, does Nick Burke realize that's not Ty Street, or does he think he is? Maybe he does know that it's not Ty Street. Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
You don't know what this move is. Storm Cradle. Oh! Storm Cradle.
That's the move of the year, Eric. It is over.
The move of the year ends it for the Softcore connection. And you gotta believe that Divine Storm and XL won the SATs.
Tremendous victory for Divine Storm and Brian XL.
You gotta believe they want the Spanish announce team.
Fair and square, Eric. Clean victory.
Can they beat the Spanish announce team? They seem to run through everybody else here except those damn SATs, huh? GQ and Chris Cash, they went through the school together. They graduated the school together. They started wrestling in the ring together as a tag team. But after last month at the Cage of Death, they had their differences. The challenges were issued, and now they are going one-on-one. It should be a very interesting matchup.
And Eric Gargiulo, I talked to GQ earlier this evening.
You talked to him?
And he told me that he is personally going to send Chris Cash back to the trailer park.
The trailer park?
That's what he said.
How can a man with the last name Cash live in a trailer park?
It doesn't make any sense. I don't think this GQ knows anything what he's talking about.
Chris Cash, one of the most intense athletes here in CZW. Up in intensity, he is intense, he is excited, he is absolutely wired to the max for tonight's match, and look at him giving it to the fans.
And I got news for you, Chris Cash is sick and tired of GQ telling everybody that he's carrying Chris Cash. He is sick and tired of GQ's snottiness, and tonight, Chris Cash has told me that he is going to do nothing short than to break the neck of GQ.
Why would he want to break his neck? They came to the school together, for goodness sake.
He's sick and tired of GQ flashing around his money, stealing his girlfriends. He's had it.
Chris Cash doesn't care about girlfriends and money. He's just in there to wrestle. He loves to wrestle. He loves to hurt people. He loves to go in there and show off his athleticism. One of the most athletic wrestlers here at CZW. Look at him. Is there anything you can do to break this kid's focus? I don't think so.
Yeah, Eric, you better be worried about your job because Chris Cash does his own play-by-play announcing while he's inside that ring.
That is true, but I'm not worried. I've heard him. He's no good.
That is the future of this company, Eric.
He very well may be. GQ could be the future of this company. Maybe it's Ian Knox.
Maybe it's Knox. Who is that? Who is Ian Knox, Eric? Who is Ian Knox?
GQ and Chris Cash. The fact of the matter is they just recently came out of the school, and if Chris Cash was to knock GQ off or vice versa, it would be one less person that they would have to worry about as far as moving up the ladder here in CZW.
You have to be very impressed with the agility of Chris Cash.
Absolutely. GQ starting out with an armbar.
GQ's very smart to take him off his feet and keep him grounded.
Absolutely, a move I'm not used to seeing GQ doing. And look at that. Even though he is inexperienced, he is taking full advantage of the positioning as he is hammering a few shots in there on his former partner.
He's going right to the shoulder.
They have each traded victories in three-way matches, but they have never wrestled one-on-one ever. You know, many times in the school, I'm sure they've used each other as sparring partners, but it's a lot bigger this time in front of fans and when it really counts.
And look at Chris Cash. He's going to work on GQ's shoulder to return the favor.
Chris Cash opened up a lot of eyes with his recent effort against Menace a few months back. Last month, GQ and Chris Cash, along with Ian Knox and his partner Chris Styles, gave
embarrassed VD, Eric.
They gave him a run for the money. But after the match, the frustration finally built up between Chris Cash and, of course, GQ.
It's jealousy, Eric. GQ has always been jealous of Chris Cash.
You got to worry about the cash flow, the ATM from Chris Cash. He's agile, he's mobile, and he likes to use it to his advantage. Of course, GQ, an arsenal of moves himself. He likes to hit the camera shot, the frog pond splash.
And I'm very surprised Rob Hartog was right in position for that submission hold.
Full Nelson, shades of Ken Patera in there. Go behind takedown. Look at him mocking Chris Cash. He's mocking him.
GQ's smart. He's trying to keep this match a wrestling match, Eric. He is trying not to let Chris Cash go to the air and use those high-risk maneuvers.
Look at the eyes of Chris Cash. Those are crazy eyes. Those are the eyes of an insane man. Big right hand, sledgehammer, forearms to the back.
I mean, Eric Arjul, you even failed to mention that the new school team, the former new school team of GQ and Chris Cash, defeated VD at the Cage of Death.
I don't recall that.
Oh, I recall it.
I recall VD winning the match.
I don't know what match you watched, Eric.
I don't know what match you watched. GQ and Chris Cash. Obviously, we watched two different matches.
Big headlock takeover there by GQ, and he still hangs on to that headlock.
Very interesting, John House. You would think with the inexperience that these two guys, especially having a feud with each other, having issues, they'd want to get in there and just kind of tear each other up. Springboard plan said no. Decides against it. But instead, they decided to trade wrestling holds. Very interesting.
These two have only been in CZW for a few months, but they have the minds of someone who's been in this business for years. And you know why?
Why?
Because they
were trained by VD?
No, because they talk to John House on a weekly basis.
I thought it was because they were trained by VD. I thought it was because they went through the CZW Wrestling
and
Academy.
they're helpful hints. I share my 20 years experience and help us younger people here in CZW.
Like a lot of people that do it in the backyard, like that stupid commercial that we play sometimes on the show. These guys went in there, they did it, they went through the school, they paid the dues, they threw up, they had their bones broken, week in, week out, trained 5 days a week, did whatever they could to get down to the school, paid their dues, and now they are actually doing it and properly trained.
It was about 1 year ago, Chris Cash and GQ were sitting at home, daydreaming, watching CZW.
Absolutely.
And what did they do? They picked up the phone and joined the CZW Wrestling Academy, and look, on Fake UTV.
That's what you got to do. A lot of schools out there tell you about it. We don't got to tell you about our school. We can just show you athletes like Chris Cash, GQ, Ian Knox, people that have come to Justice Payne, Nick Gage, Lobo, guys that have come through our school. The proof is in the pudding, John. The proof is in the pudding every week here on Fake UTV.
And look at Chris Cash, he's still hanging on that headlock. One thing that I do notice, even though they hang on to the headlock and they got their opponent down, they take every opportunity to lay in more shots, Eric.
Absolutely. Very crafty
That's
move.
called tenacity.
Is that what it's called?
That's exactly what it's called.
And look at the craftiness of Chris Cash again, John.
See that?
I'm very impressed with the fact that they're not letting this match get away from
GQ
them.
just grabbed the hair of Chris Cash, and Rob Hartog did not see it. Doesn't surprise me.
Big kip up, leapfrog, down. Chris Cash rolls through, shoots him over. Both once again trading moves. Big kick to the midsection.
Aren't you impressed with the agility of GQ and Chris Cash?
Of course I am.
Thank you very much.
And you're welcome very much. John, if you would have let me finish my point, what I would have said is they're not letting this match get away from them. They are keeping everything in proportion, very focused. They are wrestling like veterans in there. And the fact, instead of going in there and tearing each other up, like I mentioned earlier, they still continue to go back to the moves.
And you're welcome.
Trading roundhouse kicks.
I taught them that, Eric.
Oh, did you?
I taught them that.
I forgot you're the shooter of our locker room. And again, trading kicks.
I guess it's going to come down to who kicks the hardest.
Well, you trained him, you should know. Chris Cash misses the big crescent kick.
GQ tried for the roaring elbow, and Chris Cash blocked it, Eric.
Look at the frustration now starting to set in. Chris Cash frustrated. GQ looks a little frustrated.
GQ is in better cardiovascular shape, Eric. That's what this match may come down to. Who is in the best cardiovascular shape?
Absolutely. Chris Cash doesn't care about fan approval. Look at him. GQ gets up there. Chris Cash spits out at the fans.
He hates the fans, Eric.
Winds up with that.
I wonder who taught him that.
Yeah. Seems like you taught them a lot, huh?
I taught them everything they know.
And GQ, Chris Cash with the dragon suplex.
Right. Nailed GQ right on the back of his neck with that dragon suplex, Eric.
Chris Cash, GQ trading moves in the ring, trying to go to their big moves. They cannot hit them.
A big 2 count there by Rob Hartog. Can't he count any faster?
The thing is, when GQ goes for a move like the camera shot, Chris Cash, he knows how to school it, he knows how to counter it. He trained with GQ. And Chris Cash, when he goes for the cash flow, same thing.
You didn't expect this match not to be a tremendous match, did you?
Of course I did. They came from the CZW Answering Academy.
Big left hands there by Chris Cash.
Chris Cash now good for the clothesline. A couple of big right hands by GQ. GQ shot off to the ropes. Oh! And Chris Cash, of course, hits the money maker.
That's the money maker. GQ's losing his money. Look, it's falling out of his pockets.
Is that what it is?
And look at Rob Hartog picking it up.
Chris Cash only having enough in him to drape the arm over the shoulder. That's not going to do it.
Yeah, but Eric, at least he had enough. At least he had enough presence of mind to drape his arm over his opponent.
And Chris Cash doing a little bit too much jaw jacking, if you ask me, with the fans. Again, going for the.
That's part of his in-ring psychology.
Excuse me. GQ now with the German suplex drops. Chris Cash right on his head.
And look at Rob Hartog. He's putting a 10 count on GQ with Chris Cash.
A lot of issues going on right now in CZW, John. The talk of CZW, who's it going to be? Lobo, Zandig owning the company, control of the company. What's going to happen?
There is no talk.
Will Lobo finally will he ever wind up getting into the ring and wrestling Zandig himself?
I got news for you. Lobo is not afraid of John Zandig.
But why
Tonight is the night. Lobo told me tonight is the night that he takes over CZW. And not only that, he's taking all the boys out for cheesesteaks.
I've heard that. What? I didn't get that invite.
Maybe that's because you're not one of the boys, Eric.
Excuse me.
I work for Sheriff Lobo, not John Zandig.
High cross body. The fallaway bridge. Not enough for GQ.
That was a beautiful move there by GQ, but it was only a 2 count.
What a tremendous match from two of our young lions here at CZW. Imagine how good these guys are going to be a year from now, John.
Big mistake there for GQ. He should have stayed on top of Chris Cash, but he wasted too much time, and he went over and started arguing with Rob Hartog. And you know, just as well as I do, arguing with Rob Hartog isn't going to get you anywhere.
You said it before, the future. The future. And right now, look like GQ maybe going for a Russian leg sweep. Big reversal. Chris Cash goes in, puts him up in the top, has him draped over. Now we've seen them do this together, but never apart, GQ and Chris Cash.
Well scouted there by Chris Cash.
Oh! Rana off the top, beautiful. What an athletic contest from both wrestlers.
And it sends GQ right to the outside of the ring. And look at Chris Cash staying on top of his opponent.
And that'll light him up.
Big chop there by Chris Cash.
Shoots him into the guardrails. Of course, we return to this here arena, the new CZW Arena, formerly known ECW Arena. It's Swanson and Ritter on February the 9th. The hottest ticket right now in professional wrestling in this area is Combat Zone Wrestling. So call now, go to the website CZWWrestling.com for all of the latest news and updates on the show. It's going to be a hot night on February 9th, let me tell you.
And Eric, what is going to happen when John Zandig finally has to beat Glenn Osborne in a CZW-style lumberjack match?
Anything.
What is a CZW-style lumberjack match anyway?
Don't turn off the show and you'll find out.
Big boots there by Chris Cash. What is he doing, Eric?
Using the two chairs, using the guardrail. Both wrestlers now taking a lot of time. Maybe a little too much time.
GQ still looking up at the lights. And Chris Cash, what is he doing? I've never seen him do this before.
GQ off his feet. And he is just out of his mind.
He's sick and tired of Rob Hartog.
It's a lunatic. Who do you pick so far in this match?
Well, I gotta go with Chris Cash, Eric. He has the best attitude. He's the one that came out on fire.
Chris Cash now, look at him raking the eyes of his former partner. You gotta be kidding me.
That is an old school move there, Eric. When was the last time you seen someone drape their opponent's face across the entire top rope?
Well, Chris Cash did it to GQ about a minute ago.
And I got news for you, that burns.
Chris Cash up now.
Sort of like some of the women you've been with, you get burnt.
All right, maybe in your case.
He's going out.
How about me? Sends him over now. Takes the legs out right from under him. GQ dazed. And now he's setting him up for the cash blow. No, he lands on his feet. Chris Cash up and over. Oh, you're kidding me. Oh, you're kidding me. He was just buried alive. Dug his own grave.
And Chris Cash just got burnt by his own creation, Eric.
That's enough out of him for this evening.
And that could be it.
What a way to start off the new year. If GQ could muster up enough to get up, roll Chris Cash back in the ring, you would figure a pin would be easy at this point.
Chris Cash may not be able to get back in the ring after that. It's over.
He may not. That's it. That's it. What a matchup. What a matchup.
A tremendous matchup and a tremendous victory for GQ, even though it's by countout.
But I've never heard of Cherry Hill, Pennsylvania. What is this idiot thinking?
Eric, who cares about Cherry Hill, Pennsylvania? We got a four-time CZW Tag Team Champion, a former Big Japan Junior Heavyweight Champion in Johnny Kashmir.
He is without a doubt the most successful tag team wrestler here in Combat Zone Wrestling. But I question Johnny taking a singles match while he is supposed to be a tag team champion. John, the last time you were out here at this arena, he had a very hard-fought victory over Menace. Shut a lot of his critics up.
And if you ask me, he kicked the crap out of Menace, Eric.
Well, I don't know about that.
Oh, he kicked the crap out of him. I got news for you. I am proud of Johnny Kashmir and what he's accomplished here at CZW.
Are you proud of the fact that him and his buddy Trent have yet to give Nick Gage an 8-H in a title match?
What are you talking about, Eric?
Proud of the fact they're running from the hate club?
They haven't even thought about the hate club yet.
And how about the issues between Brian Logan and Johnny Kashmir?
One day at a time, Gargiulo, when you're a champion.
One day at a time. Give me a break. Should be a very interesting matchup here. Ian Knox, Sick Nick Mondo, and Johnny Kashmir. What a matchup.
You're a blue chipper.
Ian Knox, our hometown boy. Kensington's not that far from where we are today. He has a lot of friends and family in the audience. What kind of a victory would it mean for Ian Knox if he scored a pinfall tonight over Johnny Kashmir and Nick Mondo? That would be news all over the world.
It will never happen, Gargiulo, because out of all the students that have graduated the CZW Wrestling Academy, Ian Knox is the one with the least potential.
Are you kidding me?
With the least potential.
Are you kidding me?
I tell it like it is.
You tell me nothing. Arena, Sick Nick Mondo was thrown about 20 feet off of the roof, and he is back here to tell you, I, and them about it.
I don't know how he does it. I don't know how he does it, Eric.
Because he's sick.
How can he keep coming back?
He doesn't feel pain. You want to talk about athleticism, this is going to be one athletic matchup.
I got news for you. Johnny Kashmir should not even be inside the ring with Sick Nick Mondo. He is the tag team champion, Eric.
The last time Sick Nick Mondo and Johnny Kashmir were in the ring together, it was for the Iron Man Championship, and Sick Nick Mondo defeated Johnny Kashmir. Remember the assault driver off the soda machine in Sewell?
And you're absolutely right. What a tremendous victory it would be if Ian Knox could pull off a victory over Sick Nick Mondo and Johnny Kashmir.
But you remember back in the New Beginning when Sick Nick Mondo beat Johnny Kashmir?
I don't remember anything.
It was a New Beginning. I
don't remember anything, Eric.
Remember that was when
you're the only one that remembers that stuff.
Ian Knox now sizing up his opponents. Ian Knox, without a doubt, the least experienced, showing no fear whatsoever. Look at Johnny, not even phased. Nick Mondo taking it out on Johnny.
Ian Knox has no idea who he was even in there with, Eric.
He's in there with unbreakable.
Sick Nick Mondo, that guy is nuts. And Johnny Kashmir, he's insane, Eric.
Johnny Kashmir is a psychopath himself. What if Johnny is able to convince Ian at some point in the match to make a team along with Kashmir and both work together to take out Nick Mondo? And look at him over the head. Look at his show of strength from the blue chipper.
He's a blue chipper.
And look at that show of inexperience by Ian Knox. Ian Knox trying to catch Nick Mondo. Fallaway slam over the top, and he caught his leg. He may have separated his leg in half. Johnny Kashmir setting him up. Look at him. Look at the big Yakuza kick. Yakuza kick. Yakuza kick Johnny Kashmir. And a big right hand. And he's all over Ian Knox.
And look at Johnny Kashmir take advantage of the opportunity, knowing Nick Mondo has been taken out of this match.
Look at him driving the boot right into the face of Ian Knox. Big right hand.
He's going right to work on Ian Knox. Ian Knox is going to be taken to school here in this match.
Ian Knox with some chops. Ian Knox, of course, fresh out of the CZW Wrestling Academy. The most experienced opponents he has ever had has been the Softcore connection along with BD in the match last month. Separate matches, that is. Never has he been in there with a tag team specialist like Johnny Kashmir.
For you there, Eric. Johnny Kashmir goes right to the eyes.
Big right hand by Ian Knox once again. Johnny ducks. Johnny catches the arm. Exploder over the top. Kashmir stands alone in that ring. Nick Mondo sneaks up behind him.
I don't think Johnny sees Mondo back there, Eric.
Back to where we left off in a new beginning between these two. Big kick. Big roundhouse right. Big roundhouse again. Oh! And remember, they went at it.
Those kicks are illegal, Eric.
And they went at it one more time in a six-man tag, though. That had Hate Club dead, and we all know how that turned out.
Yeah, we know how that turned out, right. You don't even want to bring it up, do you?
Oh, I know how it turned out.
Who was victorious in that match, Eric?
Sick Nick, Mondo, the wife beater, and Zandig.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You have no idea what you're talking about.
The Backseat Boys are just as paid.
Nick Mondo goes behind. You're looking at two wrestlers right now that help pioneer the tag team division. Big Northern Light suplex. Rolls over. Johnny holds on. Has him in a front face lock. Another Northern Light suplex. The tag team wars between Johnny Kashmir and Trent, along with Nick Mondo and his partner back in the summer of 2000 helped put CZW on the map. Absolutely. Two pioneers of this company. Springboard, sits out. Ian Knox now right behind Nick Mondo, not going to let him score the victory that easy.
Look at Ian Knox, he had enough presence of mind to get back into the ring and break up that 3-count predicament.
Ian Knox now has him up for a big power bottom
right on the chair, Eric.
You think that hurts Nick Mondo? Covers him. Nick Mondo would love nothing more than to win this match and move on to a potential Iron Man Championship match one-on-one with Adam Flash.
Ian Knox did not hook the leg of Nick Mondo, Eric. You have got to hook the leg of a guy like Nick Mondo if you think you're going to beat him.
Driving the knee right in the back. Johnny, being the crafty veteran that he is, picks the chair up, slams it right into the head of Ian Knox.
I think what he is an opportunist, Eric. Can you say opportunist?
Opportunist. Johnny Kashmir, the Boston Crab. Nick Mondo sizing things up himself. Somebody's got to get that chair out of there. Big chair to the back. Look at Kashmir. He's unbreakable.
He's unbreakable. Yeah, he's unbreakable.
Kashmir wrenching back even more with the show of pain. That may have knocked him out.
And look, Kashmir is not letting go.
That is dead weight of Johnny Kashmir holding onto those legs. Nick Mondo right now representing the big deals. Takes the feet right out from Ian Knox. Big roundhouse kick to the back of the head. Stop, double stop to the back. Nick Mondo now setting him up once again. I'm looking at another roundhouse kick. He's just tearing his kid apart, taking him to school.
He's going upstairs, Gargiulo.
Has him upstairs, setting him up, losing his balance. The M. Bison, John House. He's a video game freak. He got that out of a video game. The Mondo Bison, but we'll just call it the M. Bison.
It doesn't look good for Ian Knox.
Hooks the leg, kicking out of that M. Bison. Nick Mondo taking moves right out of video games. They'll learn him anywhere. Maestro Cradle, too close to the ropes. Johnny now holding his back. Remember those chair shots to the back of Johnny Kashmir, maybe hurting the tag team champion of the world.
Beautiful
right
submission there, applied by Sick Nick Mondo to Ian Knox.
And again, a chair to the back. I wonder if Trent Acid's going to make an appearance during this match like Johnny does, running in last month.
Eric, you mind your business. You don't worry about what the Backseat Boys do.
From the last month, Trent Acid, Ruckus, Johnny Kashmir runs in, causes problems as usual.
Oh, please.
Now he's the first one in line to jump in there when it's 2-on-1.
Hey, wait a minute. Who's the junior heavyweight champion, Gargiulo?
Trent Acid.
Thank you.
I wonder how. I wonder why. I wonder who did it. I wonder who helped him. I wonder where it happened.
What a tremendous clean victory over Ruckus and the winger.
Johnny Kashmir gonna nail that cradle breaker? No. Ian Knox has it from behind. Hard Knox driver. Welcome to Knoxville, Johnny Kashmir. Oh! Mondo from across the ring. You know, Johnny Kashmir is the first one to stand in line when it's 2-on-1.
Well, the way things are going, Eric, I would think Sick Nick Mondo and Ian Knox are in cahoots against Johnny Kashmir.
When are Acid and Kashmir going to defend these tag team belts around here? What about the Hate Club? When are they going to wrestle the Hate Club? Oh, I think the Hate Club would love a shot at them. How'd you like to see that match?
Eric, I don't want to see that match, Gargiulo.
That match was made a long time ago. It changed due to politics around here, but it's bound to happen. It's got to happen. Test of strength. Nick Mondo on one knee. Takes him over, double underhook. Double underhook suplex takes Nick Mondo over.
That was a beautiful suplex by Ian Knox. I wonder where he learned that, Eric.
At the CZW Wrestling Academy. The match was made a long time ago. The Backseat Boys and the Hate Club but of course Lobo screwed things up and changed the matchup. Roundhouse kick to the ribs.
No, John Zandig screwed up that.
Oh no, Zandig made the match.
Title match.
He made the match.
He added the Briscoes under that match, Eric. The Briscoes don't deserve a title
If you did your
shot.
homework, you would realize that there was a match signed between the two teams, 2-on-2, and the match was changed by Lobo.
It was not done by Lobo. It was John Zandig's doing.
And Nick Mondo now up on the shoulders. Johnny Kashmir with the gore off the top. You gotta be kidding me, Cash.
He speared him, Eric, off the top rope.
Went right through him with that spear. That's called a gore. A double cover. Who will get the victory if they both cover him? Look at the face of Kashmir.
The one with the more experience will get the cover, Eric.
Johnny Kashmir is a tag team specialist, but he's never held a belt here, a singles belt in CZW, but at Big Japan, he held the Big Japan Junior Heavyweight Championship.
That's because politics, Eric, and you're behind it.
I have nothing to do with it.
You are behind it, Cartoon.
August the 19th, Ashton and Kashmir defeated Men's Teo and Drew Kasai over in Japan. It was an all-or-nothing matchup. Kasai and Teo held the junior belts from Big Japan and CZW respectively, and of course Kashmir and Ashton came away with everything.
Eric, what is Ian Knox doing on the outside?
I have no idea. It looks like he's setting up the guardrail for something here. Kashmir now setting up the table.
I think Ian Knox and Johnny Kashmir are working together.
It very well could be. Could you imagine that tag team combination? Maybe Ian Knox could be a new backseat boy, John. And maybe not. Maybe not.
He don't have what it takes to be a backseat.
That chair's going to wind up on his backseat. And Nick Mondo's had enough.
Nick Mondo out of that nowhere, Eric.
Nick Mondo's had enough.
This man is reckless.
Mondo sludge! Mondo sludge! He just Mondo sludged the hell out of Ian Knox.
Ian Knox, welcome to CZW, Ian Knox.
And he's going to roll it back in the ring. And Adam Flash, better watch out. And Adam Flash, the Iron Man champion, better watch his behind because Sick Nick Mondo wants his belt back. I think he just sent a message to Adam Flash. What an effort by Ian Knox, but not enough to get by the former Iron Man champion and World Tag Team champion, Sick Nick Mondo. Look at that show of respect.
You make me sick, Eric. What a respect.
What do you mean?
He's a sicko, Eric. He's a sicko.
Belt. Adam Flash is the Iron Man champion.
No, Eric Gargiulo, you got it wrong. The Rapchies are the Iron Man champions. They are code holders of that belt.
Since when? The last time I saw Danny Rose, he lost to Zandig. And the time before that, he lost to Greg Matthews in his very first match. He lost to a man who had never even wrestled before.
CZW's most entertaining man of the year, Doomsday Danny Rose.
You seem to be up in all your awards categories tonight.
I'm up on everything tonight, Gargiulo. And I got news for you. The Rapchies do not care who is tough enough Greg Matthews' partner here tonight.
Who's it going to be? Is it you? Is it you?
I'll be back.
Greg Matthews coming to the ring 1-0, John House. 1-0. He was a former competitor on the MTV show Tough Enough. Got a little bit of training there. Of course, had to pull out due to a back injury. He recently had to undergo surgery. Remember when Danny Rose beat him over the back with the chair? I have never seen a man come back quicker from back surgery than Greg Matthews. He is hungry.
That victory over Doomsday Danny Rose was a fluke, Gargiulo, and you know it. For God's sakes, tough enough Greg Matthews was trained by a man who runs around with a hat.
All right, enough out of you. Who's his partner, John? What? That's White Beater's music! That's White Beater's music! That's the White Beater and Max Smack!
They can't beat a White Beater. He's injured, Eric.
Maybe he's gonna wrestle with one arm. Hey, if Greg Matthews with no matches under his belt can beat Danny Rose, the White Beater can beat him with one arm.
White Beater just had surgery done on his left elbow, Gargiulo.
Absolutely. Zandig and Greg Matthews became associated last month when Greg Matthews came to the aid of Zandig. Maybe as a favor, Zandig has given him the White Beater, a member of the Big Deals, as his partner.
That would be a big mistake by John Zandig.
What do you think he's going to say?
Obviously, White Beater's not going to be able to be your tag team partner tonight.
It's going to be Smack. Is it Smack?
Be serious, hold on. This isn't a gimmick. When White took the ball off the cage at the last show here, he seriously injured his shoulder. This isn't a gimmick. They are splitting out of the bag. It's a legitimate injury. Legitimate injury.
He's got the Super Sling 2 on his arm.
But in true Max Smack style, what I got for the routine is another man coming in the same flow as the White Beater. He's part of my family. He's part of the White Beater's family. He's the White Beater's brother.
The one's got a brother! I didn't know he had a brother, Eric!
I didn't know he had a brother. I didn't know he had a sister. I didn't even know he had parents. There's 2 of them.
Oh, wait a minute, now there's 2 White Beaters!
There's 2 of them. Who is this guy? I have just been given a note. That is Billy Beater.
Billy Beater!
Billy Beater. Sounds like the name of your last girlfriend. He's huge.
There's 2 of them, Eric!
He may even be bigger than the White Beater. Sign of brotherly love. You think he's gonna let his big brother down? So John House, when everything's all said and done, you're looking at a very inexperienced team. This has got to be Billy Beater's first match, Greg Matthews' second match, and of course, 16 years of experience on the other side of the ring.
16 and a half years combined experience in the ring. And you also failed to mention they are co-holders of the CZW Ironman title, Gargiulo.
They have one man, which is Adam Flash, that holds that belt. When I look at the record books and I look at the ranking, Danny Rose is down there on the bottom for losing to a guy that's never even had a match. Look at Greg Matthews sizing him up.
Greg Matthews stole that match from Danny Rose, Eric. You know, Danny Rose didn't have a piece of ass like Taylor to look at when he was training for this business.
You're not allowed to say that on the show. You're not allowed to say that.
And Danny Rose told me once he finally gets his hands on her, he's going to knock her up with a doomsday device.
It's not as funny as to train with girls like Juanita Epstein over at his school. Who? You know who she is. Yeah. Top wrist lock by Danny Rose. Now, is Danny Rose going to want to try and get this one over early, or is he going to try and make an example out of Greg Matthews? Obviously, he took him too lightly the first time out.
I think Danny Rose wants to beat the hell out of Greg Matthews and send a message to everybody here at CZW that the Rockies are not to be played with.
Well, of course, last month, Danny Rose stepped up to the challenge. He was screaming that he wanted a match. He went up to Lobo, said he wanted a match. Lobo said, okay, I'll give you a match. Next thing he knows, he's in there with Zandig.
Eric, sometimes you don't make any sense at all.
Okay, explain it to me.
All I know is that tough enough Greg Matthews is in for a beating here tonight with the Rockies, Doomsday, Danny Rose, and Adam Flash.
Well, this started a long time ago. Of course, during the Tough Enough casting special, everybody saw Danny Rose make a jerk of it, make an idiot out of himself on that special. Then he continued to mock the television show Tough Enough and the contestants on there. And then Greg Matthews had enough. He lives in Reading, Pennsylvania. He saw fake UTV. He saw this idiot making a mockery out of what he believed in, the pride that he had in the program and the school and the competition. And he came down here to send Danny a message.
He lives in Reading, Pennsylvania?
Yes.
That's his problem, Eric.
Oh, I'm sure we can't all live in Atlantic City with all those prostitutes and drug dealers like you do.
Excuse me, Eric, I'm a very well-educated young man.
Young? Greg Matthews now with a side headlock. Danny Rose shoots him off. Greg Matthews now looks like he is toying with Danny Rose.
That was a big shoulder block there by Greg Matthews.
You think they taught him that in camp? Big hip toss sits out.
Hey, wait a minute, what are they doing?
Wait, is that the move of the month? Is that the move of the month? And Greg Matthews is hungry.
That was a cheap shot there by
I have
Greg
never seen a man come back from back surgery as quick as Greg Matthews. Why did he come back in his heart, John House? In his heart. He wants to make a name for himself here in Combat Zone Wrestling and hopefully excel in the rankings here and someday maybe challenge Justice Payne for the World Heavyweight Championship.
And still we have yet to see Billy Beater enter this match, Eric. If he is anything like his brother Wife Beater, the Rockies are in big trouble.
He's huge. The Rockies are they're at a big size disadvantage. Of course, these Rockies have been kissing up to Lobo for the last few months. Adam Flash, he's like the golden child. He's like the child that can't do no wrong at Lobo's eyes. Remember that match that he gave Justice Payne? He took him, gave him everything he got. Of course, he won the Iron Man Championship. Danny Rose, on the other hand, has really been making Lobo angry as of late, making him very mad.
How do you know he's been making Sheriff Lobo mad, Eric?
Oh, I know.
We have no idea what goes on behind the scenes here at CZW.
Oh, I know. I do my research, unlike you. Hang out with those drug dealers and prostitutes in Atlantic City all weekend. You know what I'm talking about.
Well, at least I have friends.
Adam Flash. Now all over Greg Matthews. Greg Matthews, no, reversed by Adam Flash. And you're in there with 10.5 years of experience right now. You're also in there with the Iron Man champion.
And look at Adam Flash going right to work on Tough Enough Greg Matthews. How can we call him Tough Enough Greg Matthews, Eric?
He's tough.
He's not tough. Look at him.
He came back after back surgery. Look at Adam Flash going right to work on that injured back. Those shots into the turnbuckle to a normal wrestler, yeah, they'd hurt. But to a guy like Greg Matthews, who just had portions of his back fused together, it hurts a lot more. They are giving him a pain lesson in there. Oh! Greg Matthews now mustering up some courage, some intensity.
Did you see Danny Rose's bounce out of that corner?
I sure did. Greg Matthews bouncing him out of there like a basketball. A big right hand, and another. All over Doomsday Danny Rose.
They're closed fists, they're illegal. Rob Hartock should be doing something about Greg Matthews and those right hands.
Big boot. Greg Matthews could wind up being a blue chipper here at CZW, John. And a big clothesline. Big clothesline took Danny Rose off his feet. And he just elbow dropped his partner. And John, you would think that Greg Matthews and his partner, and look at a Ruckus slam, a page right out of the book, and he is playing psychological warfare with these Rockies. You would think, John, that Greg Matthews, the inexperienced wrestler here, along with Billy Beater, would maybe sit outside of the ring, maybe not take as much punishment with his back, but no, he's right in there. Yeah, look at Billy Beater setting him up. Big boot.
Eric, I know nothing about Billy Beater, Eric.
He's all over Adam Flash right now, the Iron Man champion. Shots him throat first across those guardrails out there.
Rob Hartock should start to administer a 10 count or something, Eric.
Billy Beater tosses Adam Flash back into the ring. What are you insinuating, that Rob can't count to 10?
I know he can't count to 10, Eric, and you know it too. Sometimes he has trouble even counting to 3.
Big sledgehammer to the back of Adam Flash. Shoots him in once again. Follows him up. Shoots him back out. Once again, follows in Adam Flash. Press slam. Look at the show of strength by this Billy Beater. Drops him right on top of his partner. Pressed the man 250 plus pounds in the air.
This Billy Beater, man, he looks nuts. He looks just like his brother, Eric.
If he is anything like his brother, CZW is in a lot of trouble.
I think society is in for big trouble. There's two of them.
Absolutely. I would imagine he too had enrolled in the Marine Corps. From what I'm getting here, I'm getting some notes handed to me by our production crew that Billy Beater had just gotten out of the Marine Corps, but nobody knows the exact reason, whether he was discharged, whether it was honorable, whether he wound up slapping around one of the DIs in there.
He's got to be nuts if he came from the Marine Corps, guard.
Side slam, just like his brother.
They're all nuts in the Marine Corps.
What are you trying to say? Look at him stepping right on the gut of Danny Rose. He'll probably touch the moon stepping on his gut.
I don't think Billy Beater had enough presence of mind to even go for a cover.
Big kick out. Greg Matthews right now, maybe the match is a little too easy for him. Maybe it's too easy for Greg Matthews.
Big thumbs there to the eyes by Doomsday Danny Rose.
Very crafty
That's
move.
experience, Eric.
Very crafty move, very experienced move. Big leg lariat by Danny Rose.
Did you see the elevation Doomsday Danny Rose got with that?
He is a
for
very
a man
agile
his size,
man.
he is very agile.
Very agile. Danny Rose all over Greg Matthews. Remember, John House, Greg Matthews is already 1-0 on Danny Rose. And look at that, you want to talk about
Look
crafty?
at Rob Hartog once again, putting his nose where it doesn't belong.
Talk about crafty. That was one hell of an experienced move by an inexperienced man. Big kick, Danny Rose hits that concrete. We don't have mats outside of the ring like some other organizations. Our guys are men, they can take a fall. And Danny Rose just took one on a concrete floor.
This is totally not fair, Garjula.
Why?
Totally not fair.
Why?
Who is Billy Beater to go out there and put Doomsday Danny Rose back inside the ring?
And Adam Flash just takes Greg Matthews' feet out right from under him. Going up top. I think he's setting him up for the move of the month, John House.
This might be it.
It's the move of the month. The move of the month this month is the Jubilee Delight. The Jubilee Delight, John House.
And that should be it, Garjulo.
I don't know if Greg Matthews can continue. The last time we saw Adam Flash, the very last thing we saw out of him was he went about 15 feet in the air off of that ladder in one of the most breathtaking moments I've ever seen here at CZW, leg dropping Nick Burke through a table for that Ironman Championship belt.
And that happened right here in South Philadelphia at the Cage of Death 3. But we will be back in South Philadelphia on February the 9th.
Absolutely.
2002, Garjulo.
Anything is bound to happen on that night. Anything. Adam Flash now with his hands in the air. Of course, all the latest information can be had at CZWWrestling.com. Big tag in of Billy Beater.
I don't think Danny Rose even seen the tag.
Danny Rose looks like he's drunk in there. Hits the ropes. Oh! Clothesline. Took him right off his feet.
Big clothesline there by Billy Beater. Almost took the head off of Doomsday Danny Rose.
Billy Beater has no emotion whatsoever. Chokenstein! Chokenstein! Oh, wait a minute! What's he doing here? Boss! That son of a bitch! Normal! And then turn to the back! You bastard! Normal all over him!
Somebody had to do something, and it took Sheriff Lobo to do it.
My God, what's wrong with this man? What's wrong with this man? He's a psychopath. He's a lunatic. Oh! He's a power-hungry, egocentric jerk.
He just bent that chair across the back of Billy Beater, Eric.
Can they beat anybody fair around here? This is what our company will become if Lobo is to win control.
This is fair, Eric. If Sheriff Lobo, the boss, says it's fair, it is fair.
And Zandig and Glenn Osborne are going to get it on here later tonight for control of this company. What's going to happen? Imagine if Zandig is to lose that matchup. Give me a break. Tough enough driver. Tough enough driver it is. Top of the chairs. Go on, I hope you're proud of yourself. Hope you're proud of yourself, Danny Rose.
You know, you ought to be shaking in your boots if John Zandig loses his match tonight. We may not ever see you again here in CZW.
At this point, I'll be proud to leave. I'll be happy to leave. I don't want to sit here and call wrestling like this. I have some pride in my job, John.
This is what it's all about, Eric. Handling the business.
Lobo is bitter. Just like those bitter veterans that talk to in the locker room, that talk about everything that they should be having, everything they never had. That's what Lobo is. He's a bitter, bitter man. And they're going to whip him just like they did to the boss.
And look at Lobo. He takes great pleasure in whipping people.
Adam Flash now. And look at him whipping the arm. He's a family man. He's a referee. Yes. Give me a break. Give me a break. The last call. The last call.
It's over.
That's the last call for Greg Matthews. got problems.
A tremendous victory, Eric Gargiulo, for the Raji.
A little Lobo taking taking the skin right off of Billy Beater. That's a White Beater's brother in there. All right, Rose, we had enough of you too. Get out of here. Little Lobo makes me sick. He's a sick man. What will he do when he gains control of the company? If he gains control of this company, what will happen?
Oh, it will happen. Tonight is the night, Gargiulo.
Oh my goodness.
Lobo told me that himself.
For the love of God, leave this man alone. Leave him alone. For the love of God, Lobo, I beg you. I'm begging him to stop.
Would you please get off your knees?
Had a flash all over Greg Matthews. You shut up. How can you make jokes at a time like this? How can you make a mockery out of what is going on out here?
This is why I love CZW, Gargiulo.
Oh,
this is entertainment.
Maybe it's entertaining you, but it's turning my stomach, making me sick. Look at these guys in there. Can you imagine what will happen if Lobo gains control of this company?
Look at the tenaciousness of Doomsday Danny Rose. Wait a minute. Greg Matthews.
And the White Beater's back. He's got the weed whacker. He's got the weed whacker. And he brought the boss with him. The boss is with him. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. My God, I've never been happier to see Zandig and the White Beater. Repaying Greg Matthews for the favor from last month.
I'm not happy to see John Zandig and the White Beater.
I'd be happy to see your ass out of your house. That's what I'd be happy for. Send you on a one-way ticket back to Atlantic City. There you go. Guys who should be winners. White Beater, one arm and all, came back to help out his brother. Look at those four guys in there. Greg Matthews can barely stand up. Billy Beater, look at the welts on his back. Look at that. Ha ha.
That was great.
What will happen if Lobo gains control of this company? This whole company will be turned around. Lobo expects to find refuge in our fans, in the audience with our fans. Is he out of his mind? Look at Osborne. Leave him alone. That's a fan. That's a fan.
And the Lobo's a fan. Yes.
Maniac. Yes. That's a fan. Somebody get security.
These fans should be with Eric. These fans should be with.
He's a first-class jerk. First-class jerk.
I'm going to tell John you said that about him, too.
Look at that Zandig and Osborne. Let's get it on. Enough for the talk. Enough for the hype. Enough for the messages sent back and forth. It's time to find out who is the better man. It's time to put up or it's time to shut up. And in your case, John House, I hope you shut up.
Uh-oh. He likes straps, Eric.
Well, tonight the strap was going to end your career. You know what I like? There ain't nothing better than a wrestling match. You have some barbed wire involved.
Barbed wire! Barbed wire! You gotta be kidding me! They said we couldn't do this in Pennsylvania!
Eric, anything can happen in CZW, and you know it.
John House, any time that Zandig and Lobo have been in the ring with each other, even if Lobo's been on the outside, anything has happened. Zandig has gone through glass. Lobo has gone through glass. Zandig has gotten the skin whipped right off of the back. And now tonight, we are going to see barbed wire back in Pennsylvania.
Eric Gargiulo, I don't think Glenn Osborne and Lobo signed on for any kind of barbed wire in this match.
And it's on. And it's on. So much for the big bad Osborne. scheduled something like this. He was scheduled to wrestle Tommy Dreamer and turn it into a barbed wire match at the very last minute, and won. The ring crew right now setting up the barbed wire.
This might not be good for John Zandig. Could you imagine if Glenn Osborne gets a hold of some barbed wire, what he would do to John Zandig?
And remember, the wrestlers are going to surround the ring. So not only are they going to be connected with straps, not only are we going to have barbed wire, but we're going to have wrestlers surrounding the ring with straps.
Oh, and how convenient. Look who it is. The Midnight Outlaws. VD, they're all...
Barbed wire to the straps.
They're all John Zandig's boys.
Wire to the strap. Who does Trent think he's kidding out there? We got the whole locker room back. And look at Rebel whispering something into Glenn Osborne's ear. Eric, what's that, John?
We have about 20 CZW superstars all surrounding the ring, all with leather straps.
And Glenn Osborne has started this thing early. Glenn Osborne with a big headbutt. It's finally on, John. It's finally on.
And exactly what I knew was going to happen is that Glenn Osborne would start to begin to manhandle John Zandig very early on in the match. Big
This is a big
clothesline.
match, John, because this isn't just for a win and a record book. This isn't for a title. This is for ownership, control of this company.
And look at the size of Glenn Osborne. That was a big clothesline by Oz, Eric. You ever been clothesline by Glenn Osborne?
Never.
Never. It's almost like a tree trunk hitting you.
Absolutely. Take a head off. And Zandig off his feet. Have you ever seen anybody manhandle Zandig this early in a match ever in CZW?
John Zandig is still feeling the effects of that clothesline.
The entire locker room out there rocking a Rebel out here who proclaims himself a member of the Athletic Commission. Yet when Osborne mounts an offense with this barbed wire strap, he seems to turn the other cheek. Sellout.
Big right hand there by Oz, and he knocks your boss, John Zandig, right back down onto the mat.
Didn't knock me anywhere. Didn't knock my boss anywhere. My boss, I got faith in my boss. I got confidence in my boss. When our boss looks around the ring and sees the wrestlers that he helped train and bring in at CZW and break into the business, I think that will be enough to help him gather a second win.
Glenn Osborne was just rubbing that barbed wire across the forehead of John Zandig, and I would be surprised if your boss is already busted open.
I believe from the looks of things from this vantage point that he is.
Big right hand.
And Glenn Osborne has just manhandled Zandig. Look at Nick Mondo whispering words of encouragement into the leader of the big deals.
And what a night this is, Eric. This is one of my proudest nights to be a part of CZW.
Picks up a belt, whips him again with a belt. Once again, all right, enough, Osborne.
You know, all that talk John Zandig's been popping out of his mouth. He has had no offense in this match, except for that one punch right there.
And a big right hand again. Do not count the boss out. Do not count the boss out. John House, this is what CZW is all about. CZW is about two men going into the ring and settling it like warriors, like gladiators. Oh! They didn't care about the barbed wire. They didn't care about the straps, the leather, the wrestlers surrounding the ring. They just wanted to settle it mano a mano, man to man.
Two big chops there by Glenn Osborne, taking the win right out of your boss, John Zandig.
Lobo back in July came back to the company to do commentary with us, John. And of course, he entered the ring, cost Nick Mondo the Iron Man Championship belt, and took the money that the wrestlers and the fans had donated to him and just threw it back in their face and spit on it. He said he didn't want it. He broke his clavicle during the main event of our very first television taping here in CZW Take 1, and he's been a bitter man ever since.
And you know something, Eric? John Zandig has got to be asking himself, right, why did I provoke this monster? Why did I provoke Sheriff Lobo? I did not want this to happen to me. I did not want to get beat up on my own TV show, and that's exactly what's happening.
Zandig could be looking at his worst nightmare ring the eyes during this matchup.
He won't check his mouth like cat.
And look at the blood just spurting out of him like a gasket, gushing in the middle of the ring.
This is going to be a great night, Eric.
Ounce by ounce, the blood just pouring out of the order of this company. Imagine you're the owner of this company, John House. You put the money, the time, and everything out on the table. You start a wrestling school, you grow, draw thousands of fans all over the world through videotapes, hundreds of fans coming to your shows. You finally make it big to the Cage of Death 3, where we sold out the ECW arena and turned away fans. A crowd like this had never been in this area in well over a year, and he comes back here a month later to lose his own company. Can you imagine if that was to happen?
Well, that's John Zandig's problem, Eric. I don't even care about John Zandig. He opened his big mouth, and tonight he's paying the price.
Just imagine that. Imagine what would be going through his head if he walked home tonight and left home, got kicked out of the building of his own company.
Well, he should have just kept his mouth shut, Eric.
Look at these wrestlers all over Glenn Osborne. Looks like things could explode at ringside any time now.
Looks like John Zandig got a little help from his boys.
You think Nick Mondo, Ian Knox, Billy Beater, the Midnight Outlaws, you think guys like that, Greg Matthews, VD, guys like that would have sit by and watch Lobo take control of this company?
Of course they do.
Oh, no, they don't.
I got a raise.
And look at that, right to the back. Look
And
at
a paid vacation too, Eric.
Look at barbed wire ripping into the flesh of Glenn Osborne. Look at him ripping into the flesh. Glenn Osborne, of course, back many, many years ago, about 10, was a pioneer of hardcore wrestling in Philadelphia, and now it's coming back to bite him in the rear end.
And look at the blood pumping out of the forehead of John Zandig. He deserves every ounce of that blood pumping out of his forehead.
Look at him just digging into the flesh and body of Glenn Osborne. You want to talk about a man experienced in death matches? There may be no man in this sport that has wrestled more death matches than John Zandig. Zandig shoots him to the rope, to the top of the head with the blood.
John Zandig, I gotta give it to him. He's a smart man. He uses that steel chain to his advantage.
Zandig, of course, has beat them all over in Big Japan. Guys like Kojika, Matt Sanaga, Wayne Kenimura, people like that, Honma. All of those wrestlers have been put through Zandig, and he has went right through them to victory. Here at CZW, his wars with the wife beater, the bloodshed between those two are legendary here.
And finally, it's happening, Eric. John Zandig has just dodged Glenn Osborne for months, and finally he's mustered up the courage to step into the ring. Yeah, he dodged him.
What's Glenn Osborne thinking? What's Glenn Osborne thinking of getting into this kind of match? Of course, Lobo just sits at ringside and calls the shots. You'll see him get in there and do this. Lobo, of course, a former Iron Man champion. One of the sickest wrestlers ever at CZW, has probably endured more pain than anybody here in the zone.
He's a former world champion too, Eric, and he is your boss.
Not yet. Not yet. Could you imagine the people all over the world, what the reaction would be if they found out that Lobo is the brand new owner of this company? Could you imagine that?
That'll be a great day in CZW when Lobo takes control of this company.
Everything.
He's already got control of this company.
The website would change, the matches would change, the wrestlers would change.
Mike Payton.
What? He may clean house around here. And what's Lobo doing up there now? A fireball! Fire in the eyes! Fire in the eyes! What? Yes! Yes! He beat him! He beat him! Bye-bye, Lobo! Bye-bye, Osborne! It's over!
What happened?
Thank God! Thank God! Look at these wrestlers surrounding ringside. Wait a minute! He beat him! That is not fair, Eric! Give it up for the boss!
Yeah, give it up for the boss! Great job by John Zandig!
Looks like you're
tremendous victory by John Zandig, Eric!
A little take a Lobo right off the apron!
I got news for you. I'm proud of John Zandig.
Zandig, what?
I am proud of John Zandig, Eric.
Why?
Because he's our boss.
You're damn right he is. Zandig can barely stand on his feet. The punishment endured all for ownership of this company. They gotta get it on, Lobo and Zandig. They gotta get it on. And it's broken down. And it's broken down here at CZW. It's breaking down.
Eric, we got a brawl on the outside.
It's chaos in South Philadelphia. Greg Matthews whipping Doomsday Danny Rose. Rockin' Rebel stepping in between Nick Mondo and several of the wrestlers. Glenn Osborne walking back without Lobo. Looks like they got problems. He's had enough. All right, enough. Little Lobo, look at that coward. Standing behind Rebel, what a coward. What a coward. Finally, Glenn Osborne comes back to him. But
Mondo was injured, Eric.
The owner of our company's dead.
I want to congratulate our new boss.
What's his problem? The match is over. The match is over. You lost.
Hey, Eric, you shut up
You
for
made
a
a
minute.
fool out of yourself. He made a fool out of himself. Listen to these fans. Yes, it's on. A match that has been made right here tonight in the CZW Arena. A match that has needed to be made for several months. Zandig and Lobo, February the 9th. What? They're gonna get it on. What? To get a little bit dark here in the CZW Arena as Hardcore Nick Gage and Nate Hatred and Dewey Donovan and the Hate Club have hit the ring.
That's what I'm talking about, Eric. 450 pounds of sheer uncontrollable anger when you want to talk about the Hate Club.
Pure unadulterated evil is what the Hate Club is all about. But this is a big one tonight, John. That the Backseat Boys, of course, they have been ducking the Hate Club. A win tonight would guarantee the Hate Club a title shot at Trent and Johnny Kashmir.
And look at Dewey Donovan. He's irate. There's the monster Nate Hatred. Dewey Donovan. How many #1 contender matches do the Hate Club have to win to finally get a shot at the tag team title?
I don't know. Why don't you ask them? They're your boys. The Backseat Boys, they're your friends. They're your partners, your buddies.
I think John Zandig knows it only takes the Hate Club one match to win a title.
And from Smoke Creek, Oklahoma, at a total combined weight of 390 pounds, Eddie and Kino Murra, the Midgard Outlaws.
Eric, I feel bad for the Midnight Outlaws.
Right.
Because standing inside that ring is the Hate Club.
They held their own last month here at the Gauge of Death 3 against the Hate Club. Of course, they were not victorious, but they have another shot here tonight at the Hate Club, and they came oh so close the last time out tonight. They could easily get the job done.
Coming close and getting the job done, Gargiulo, are two different things, Eric.
What do you know about Kino and Kenny Murdoch?
I know nothing about this. All I know is that they'd be lucky if they do not get killed in this match.
Speaking of getting killed, here come a couple of killers themselves.
And from Knox, Michigan, at a total combined weight of 452 pounds, they're led to the ring by Nick
as well as a lot of the fans watching Fake View TV know that VD did receive a number of title shots recently against the Backseat Boys. Of course, Eddie Valentine's hand was broken, courtesy of Johnny Kashmir, hence the glove. Of course, VD were told that they were going to have to work their way back up through the rankings. They have done so, and tonight earned an opportunity to advance to a title matchup with Trent and Johnny Kashmir.
You're absolutely right, Eric. They went back down to the bottom, and they fought their way up to the top again. But you know what? It was done illegally because that hand of Fast Eddie Valentine is not busted, and you know it.
It's broken courtesy of Johnny Kashmir. This match is going to be one hell of a matchup here tonight on Fake You TV. These three teams can easily tear the house down.
That hand is loaded, Eric. That's broken. You know it, the fans know it, and John House knows it.
Look at the agility of VD. And VD, look at him showing no fear, going right after the wolves over there in the hate club.
I don't call that no fear, I call it stupidity, Eric.
Now look at Dahmer getting right into the face of the Midnight Outlaws. The Midnight Outlaws don't seem scared themselves. Dahmer and Valentine, of course, had one match and one match only with then World Tag Team Champions Nick Gage and Nate Hatred. Of course, Dahmer went into the match with a separated shoulder. Gage and Hatred attacked Dahmer out in the parking lot before the match just to ensure themselves a victory. And of course, the Hate Club went on to win that match. And Valentine and Dahmer were never yet to receive a rematch with those two wrestlers. And what's Gage doing, that maniac?
Eric, I don't think BD needs you to come out here and make excuses for their loss to the Hate Club several months ago here at CZW.
It's called fat.
But Eric, what a tremendous victory it would be for the Midnight Outlaws here at CZW if they were to pull this one out tonight.
Shoulder tackle, drop down. Leapfrog by Kenny Murdoch. Eddie Valentine rolls through.
Which was Kenny and which was Keno?
Keno is the one in the black. Kenny is the one in the red, currently in the ring with Eddie Valentine. Hip toss over the top. Remember, there's no mats out there. What's Hatred doing? That big boy.
He's going to work on Fast Eddie Valentine.
I don't see him rushing to get into the ring right now. Legally.
Are you insinuating that the Hate Club is afraid to get inside that ring?
Springboard plancha.
Who's that, Keno?
That is Kenny Murdoch. Nick Gage. Now Dahmer calling it Keno Murdoch. Gage all over Kenny Murdoch. All right, enough is enough. Look at him. What a jerk.
Nick Gage is an insane madman.
He's an instigator. He's a jerk.
He can do whatever he wants to do when he wants to do it. I don't see anyone stopping him.
Keno Murdoch and John Dahmer with the collar and elbow lockup. Big headlock by Dahmer. Of course, the key to winning this match if you're Dahmer and Valentine is to make these wrestlers wrestle their style of match, their pace, slow, methodical, work on one body part and just tear it up until the time comes to score the pinfall or the submission.
Eric, I think the key to victory here for either one of the teams of the Midnight Outlaws or VD, and that is to keep the Hate Club, Nick Gage and Nate Hatred on that apron and not inside the ring. Keep them out of the match.
Dahmer showing a great deal of agility and athleticism for a man his size.
Big chops there by Keno Murdoch.
Keno with the leg lariat. Keno Murdoch now tags into Kenny Murdoch. The Hate Club don't seem too eager to tag in. When are the Backseat Boys going to give the Hate Club a shot? When are Trent and Johnny going to stop running around, running away from all these other tag teams, avoiding them and going for singles matches?
Bam, big back suplex there by Fast Eddie Valentine. Oh!
That could have separated the shoulder easily of Kenny Murdoch.
That's the whole purpose of that move, Eric.
Eddie Valentine and Kenny Murdoch now back in the ring. Again, Valentine doing it, as I said earlier, and slowing the match down to their pace. Now, if you have the Midnight Outlaws from that end of the ring, you want to speed up the match. Look at this, a spinning erosion. I believe that's what he was going for. No. Valentine shoots him off. Kenny Murdoch now has him up for the cutthroat suplex. No. Valentine lands on his feet. Clothesline duck under. Spins around again. Drop. Oh! Gonna separate it in a half. But again, if you're the Midnight Outlaws, you want to speed up the match, maybe tire out all four of your opponents. Again, the Hate Club, if you're the Hate Club, John, you just want to brawl, you just want to fight. You want to take these guys outside of the ring and make it your type of matchup.
And the Hate Club is smart. They're not trying to get into this match. They're going to let the Midnight Outlaws and VD wear each other down. And when they come in, it's over, Eric.
John Dahmer right now, and then Kenny Murdoch, big chop Dahmer's got some lethal chops around here. Dahmer, of course, was a co-holder of the very first World Tag Team Champions here. He was part of that, the very first World Tag Team Champions at CZW.
That was a big drop kick there by John Dahmer. I mean, how often does John Dahmer get that kind of elevation?
Double underhook, drops him right on his head. You gotta be kidding me, Dahmer. Kenny Murdoch is in a lot of trouble right now.
VD came into this match with a plan. They are doing nothing but working on the upper back and the shoulders of Keno Murdoch.
Valentine and Dahmer are in control of this matchup. They have been since the start. Eddie Valentine almost toying with Kenny Murdoch in there, going for a cover without hooking the leg.
And they are very smart. They have isolated the Hate Club out of this match. And what was Fast Eddie Valentine going to do?
What are Nick and Nate doing? They dropped down. They refused to make the tag. Are they afraid of Eddie Valentine? Are they afraid of Kenny Murdoch?
Oh, please. Do you think they're really afraid of Fast Eddie Valentine?
Why would they refuse to make the tag then? Why would they drop down? Are they scared?
Because they're letting them do all the work, and they're going to come in later and steal it.
And Kenny Murdoch turns around, chops him. And look at them, they're going back and forth with the chops, John. Once again, gonna take that hair right off the chest of Eddie Valentine. Like a lawnmower in there with that hand. Kenny Murdoch now, oh, look at that kick.
Beautiful reverse thrust kick there by Fast Eddie Valentine, Gargiulo.
If they keep this up, this match is going to end early. Remember, the more that Valentine and Dahmer and the Murdochs wear themselves out, the fresher the Hate Club get. Dahmer with the big splash.
Didn't I just say that a few minutes ago?
It goes for the palm strike, a big block.
Very well scouted there by Keno Murdoch.
Has him up, it looks like somebody, oh! Cutthroat suplex. A cutthroat suplex, John Howe.
Right on the back of his neck, Eric. And Fast Eddie Valentine is on his back, looking up at the lights.
The momentum may have finally swung the way of the Midnight Outlaws, the Luke Gage and hatred. Those jerks, cowards, they're cowards. Look at the streak on their back house, it's yellow.
Eric, I can't even believe you just said the Hate Club have yellow streaks down their back.
Keno Murdoch hits the ropes, big boot to the face.
You know how stupid that sounded?
You know how stupid you sound, refusing to acknowledge the obvious that the Hate Club refused to tag into the matchup. Look at Dewey going out there.
As part of their game plan, I'm sure, the dude has got the Hate Club tuned up for this match.
Dewey, of course, out there leading the Hate Club. Dewey, of course, a former manager of champions here, the former manager of our current champions, of course, Trent and Johnny Kashmir.
Eric Gargiulo, do you know who has been in more #1 contender tag team matches in CZW?
Who's
the
that?
Hate Club, and they've won every single one of them and still have yet to receive their title shot.
Oh yeah, that's my point, John. Why don't you go ask your boys about that? Nick Gage, of course, sneaking in like a thief in the night. Brian Logan with no semblance of order during this matchup. Again, tagging in his brother Kenny Murdoch. Kenny, though, may not have had enough time to recoup on the outside. Double drop toe hold. Hits us, boot to the face. Look at a double stomp. Adding insult to injury. And once again, he's going nuts in there. Oh! Kenny Murdoch is on fire. These Midnight Outlaws came out of nowhere.
That was 2 3/4.
These Midnight Outlaws came out of nowhere and are making a hell of an impact here in CZW.
And what a tremendous victory it would be if they were to somehow pull it off against VD and the Hate Club.
Look at him drop that knee right in the forehead. So Fast Eddie Valentine, who doesn't look so fast at the moment.
Looks like the Midnight Outlaws are trying to end this match any way they can, Eric.
Northern Light suplex. Looks like Dewey's got some fans in here.
Dewey has thousands of fans, Eric. He has more fans than you do. You don't have any.
Of course, Nick Gage, earlier this evening, we've seen it before, he challenged Justice Payne for that World Heavyweight Championship, and the Rockin' Rebel declined the matchup. He said that the matchup was not going to happen because Gage had only signed for one matchup. What's going on here? Will anybody wrestle the Hate Club? Will the Backseat Boys? Will Johnny Kashmir, Trent Acid, or Justice Payne wrestle any members of the Hate Club?
Eric, it's not Justice Payne's fault that Rockin' Rebel would not let Nick Gage go after his title. The champ issued an open challenge to anyone.
They seem pretty buddy-buddy during the moment. Midnight Outlaws now. Look at that guillotine leg drop.
What are you trying to say, Eric?
Oh, you heard me.
What are you trying to say?
Oh, you know what I'm insinuating.
Long story, long history there between the Rockin' Rebel and our champion, Justice Pain.
Nick Gage, of course, pulling Brian Logan outside of the ring. Instead of Logan having some cojones and doing something about it, he just looks at him.
What do you want him to do, Eric? What would you do?
Eddie Valentine rolls through the cover. Not enough. Oh, leg lariat.
He just planted his right foot right in the mouth of Fast Eddie Valentine.
The energy, the bodily harm that these poor men are expending, nothing at all coming out of the tank of the Hate Club. The Hate Club can run in there at any minute and tear up these teams, and they would have a very, very distinct advantage.
All that anger is building up, Eric. All the anger within the Hate Club is building, and when it explodes, it's over.
Keno Murdoch misses. Now holds on to Fast Eddie Valentine. Looks like he's going for a driller. The K-driller. Oh! Eddie Valentine, quite a counter into the bridge.
That was a beautiful reversal there by Fast Eddie Valentine.
Keno Murdoch goes for the German suplex. Eddie Valentine now with the Cobra Clutch. Oh! Jumped him right on his head.
That should be it, Eric.
Now why? What is the strategy of the Hate Club to allow these wrestlers to wrestle and then not get in there? Because at any time, Eddie Valentine could score the pin and the Hate Club would be screwed out of a match.
Well, that's simple, Eric. They are letting VD and the Midnight Outlaws wear each other down, beat the hell out of each other, and then sooner or later, they're going to have to face Nick Gage and Nate Hatred.
Tag made to Kenny Murdoch. Dewey going crazy out there like somebody slipped X-Lax in his drink. And a big clothesline. Dahmer with some vicious right hands. Anytime the big man punches you, it's gonna hurt. Spine buster! Spine buster! Boot to the midsection. Scoops him up. Holds on. Oh! Sits out with the Michinoku driver. And he's going up top. Last time the Hate Club and the Midnight Outlaws were on Fake U TV, they gave each other one hell of a matchup. The Hate Club came out on top, and the Hate Club refused to tag into the match.
Are you surprised the Hate Club came out on top, Cardulo? I'm not.
Keno Murdoch now waiting on top. Oh! Palm strike! Palm strike! Palm strike!
That's the illegal palm strike I was talking about.
It's a very legal palm strike.
There you go. They're in now, Eric.
Wait a minute. The tag signal one, not two. It's not a two-man tag, it's a one-man tag. Shoots him into the ropes. The flapjack, enough already.
There's that intensity, Eric.
Hate Club make me sick. All over Keno Murdoch like he's got our paychecks tonight.
All the frustration, no one would tag them in the whole match.
Hatred shoots him in. Decapitator. Decapitator. All right, enough. Enough already. Look at him smiling. I don't think I've ever seen Hatred smile before.
I feel bad for Keno Murdoch now. He's in the wrong corner.
Oh, look at Gage. Look at him with those rights.
Big right hands by Nick Gage.
Look how gullible Logan is. Look at Hatred all over. Bam! What a chop. Gage looks at his hand, didn't even believe he had it in him. Nick Gage, the former World Heavyweight Champion, former Tag Team Champion around here, former Iron Man Champion, held them all.
You done?
I'm finished.
That big chop to the chest took it right out of Keno Murdoch.
Most recently held the Iron Man Championship, held the Tag Team Championship for several months here at CZW, but again, the Hate Club have yet to receive a return match. And Nate Hatred just drives the back of the neck of Keno Murdoch into the canvas.
Surprisingly, it was only a 2 count. Keno Murdoch should just give up and live to see another day. It is not worth it. It is not worth ending your career.
And the Hate Club coming into this ring now like a shark that smells fear. And look at Dewey over there.
Yeah, look at Dewey. He's doing his job, Eric.
Of course, any place is a good place for the Hate Club to fight. What better time than the present? Nate Hatred now shoots him off. Oh! Slams him down.
Did you see the velocity on that spine buster?
Dewey's got some fans in here.
He almost sent Keno Murdoch straight to hell.
If Nate Hatred nails that sit-out tombstone of Keno Murdoch, it could be over. Gage nails that chokeslam backbreaker, that could be it. Hatred having a hard time finishing off. It's Keno Murdoch, who seems like he's got a lot of heart.
Oh, right on the back of his neck, Eric.
German suplex. Look at Hatred, that maniac. Is there a more evil man in CZW than Nate Hatred?
I don't know, Eric. But Nate Hatred is an insane monster. This guy's almost unstoppable.
Maybe the most intense man in Combat Zone Wrestling. Nick Gage has finally entered the ring.
Big double shoulder block there by the Hate Club. And look who's in total control of this match.
Eddie Valentine and John Dahmer have had a lot of time to recuperate on the outside. A tag to them could mean the end of this match for Nick Gage.
They may not even get back in this match.
Nick Gage, the hardcore drop on Keno Murdoch. Look at Gage just laughing. Look at Valentine and Dahmer laughing. He's having a good time in there.
He's amused by beating the hell out of people and inflicting pain, and that's exactly what he's doing in there to Keno Murdoch.
Can you imagine what would happen here at CZW if Nick Gage and Justice Payne were to lock up once again? Could you imagine if that match would have happened? Two pioneers of the company.
Eric, I don't want to imagine that match happening.
Nick Gage with a full head of steam. Took the face right off of Keno Murdoch. Gotta rip the mask right off him. That mask could come right off with that move.
The Hate Club right now has got to be smelling victory, Eric. And another shot at those tag team titles.
How do you think the Backseat Boys are going to weasel out of that matchup, House?
Our big elbows do not duck anyone, Eric.
Elbow drop, just drove the elbow right into the chest of Keno Murdoch. I don't know,
some big elbows there by Nick Gage.
Look at Dewey, look at the look on his face. He just accomplished something himself.
Dewey's a very frustrated man, Eric.
Some argue that Nick Gage and Nate Hatred are the best tag team here in CZW.
They are the most dominating team here in CZW. Steamrolling through everyone. Beautiful suplex there.
Northern Light suplex and/or bridge. Not enough.
When was the last time you see Nate Hatred pull out a Northern Light suplex?
It's done it quite often here in CZW. What do you watch?
Dewey Donovan.
Even gave a white beater a Northern Light suplex in the 200 light tube match just a few months ago. What a sick match that was. Hatred is a very sick man, a former Iron Man champion. Look at a big kick to the back of the head. Nate Hatred came into CZW in July of the year 2000, calling out the white beater. He went right after the big gun. He is a sick, sick man, but he has no fear at all.
Big clothesline there by Nate Hatred. And you can purchase that. They said it couldn't be done again on CZW home video by checking out our website,
CZWWrestling.com.
And don't forget, back on February the 9th, we're coming back to South Philadelphia to the new CZW Arena.
And what's going to happen that night? Are the Hate Club going to finally get their match? Is Nick Gage going to finally wrestle Justice Payne? What is going to happen?
What happens in this match will determine who challenges for the tag team title.
We'll definitely set the stage. And Nate Hatred is all over Eddie Valentine. Valentine and Dahmer have been thinking about getting the Backseat Boys back in the ring for a long, long time. The last time they were in there, Valentine was about to come off the top rope, nail the Doomsday Device on Trent Acid. Of course, Johnny pushed him. He fell off the table. Trent victory rolled Dahmer for the victory. And of course, since that time, they have been pulled back down in the rankings, told that they had to work their way up. They have done so, and tonight could seal the tag team title matchup on February the 9th with a victory.
And I have to tell you, Eric Arju, that was a very clean victory by the Backseat Boys.
Look at these two trading forearms. Valentine not backing down at all. Valentine can take this opportunity to nail the palm strike and really set things on fire here for his tag team.
5 big forearms by Fast Eddie Valentine, staggering the monster, Nate Hatred.
Still not enough. Couple of lefts, he's a southpaw. To the top. Valentine can't even stand on his feet. It took a lot out of him as well.
What Fast Eddie Valentine needs to do is make aware of himself where he is in that ring and get over and tag in his partner, John Dahmer. And he did. He must have heard me, Eric.
And Dahmer and Nick Gage, two of the bigger wrestlers here at CZW, two of the most intense wrestlers here at CZW. For the first time in a long, long time, a healthy John Dahmer and a healthy Nick Gage. One-on-one, you gotta love it. Shots to the back, shoots him in once again. Tornado suplex, tornado suplex.
There's only a 2 count, Eric. Get in your seat. Calm down.
Very exciting matchup here. Time roll over Nick Gage. Talk about 2 animals locking up here.
There we go. Somebody had to do something. Oh!
I think he just chopped that shirt into black and blue.
Dewey Donovan did not deserve John Dahmer to put his hands on him. He should be disqualified.
BD calling the Midnight Outlaws into the ring. Looks like they're all gonna take issue with Gage and Hatred. And they're gonna fly.
Yeah, it's 4-on-2 now, Eric. And I bet you think that's fair.
Hey, you know what? Anything's fair at this point. The Midnight Outlaws and VD working as a tag team. There's a 4-man wrecking machine here.
That's what they gotta do if they want to be successful against the Hate Club. That is double team both Nate Hatred and Nick Gage.
You know, eventually, John, you have to question the Do. The Do has been unable to get the job done to secure a title rematch for Gage and Hatred.
But actually, Eric Garjula says that he has. He has got them #1 contender matches, and Gage and Hatred have won those #1 contenders matches. But John Zandig and everybody else, and people like you here at CZW, keep screwing the Hate Club.
You know, Lobo's supposed to be buddy-buddy with Dewey. Seems like Lobo hasn't been able to do anything for him at all. I guess he's really not that powerful, John.
Well, what's going to happen on February the 9th when John Zandig has to finally face Sheriff Lobo in South Philadelphia?
Maybe, just maybe, if Lobo was to win that, your boys, the Backseat Boys, would have to wrestle right to the top of the head. That's
I think
hurt.
Nick Gage just trying to kill Keno Murdoch.
It's sick. What a sick thud. Nick Gage.
Nick Gage is the man, Eric. How dare you call him sick?
Hey, if you don't know it, just ask him.
He's the man.
He wants to be the man again. He wants Justice Pain. He wants the Backseat Boys. I'm sure he'd even like a shot at Adam Flash.
You want to talk about titles being in jeopardy? Could you imagine if Nick Gage did get that title shot against Justice Pain?
Eddie Valentine all over Nate Hatred. Dewey working with Nick Gage and setting up a table. Kenny Murdoch laid out, courtesy of John Dahmer. Oh! Listen to that chair shot. Keno Murdoch had it up.
He just planted Nick Gage right between the eyes with that steel chair.
That's the way they do it in Oklahoma.
Kenny Murdoch is set up on the outside on a table, Eric.
Keno Murdoch.
And so is Nick Gage.
Climbing up top. One of these teams could be in a lot of trouble. And Keno Murdoch just went up in the air and put Nick Gage down under.
Wait a minute. It looks like Dahmer's going upstairs.
If the big guy comes off the top rope, this whole building's gonna shake.
Big forearms there by Kenny Murdoch, and he had to do that, Eric. He had to stagger the big man on that top turnbuckle.
Dahmer now trying to balance himself up top. Kenny Murdoch showing no fear. Kenny has a hard time hanging on to the big man. Oh! Superplex! Oh! Superplex! Eddie Valentine now up
He's
top.
got Nate Hatred set up.
Eddie Valentine now up top. Look at oh! John House, we got bodies all over the floor here in the CZW
It's a
arena.
matter of who can maybe get back into the ring and beat the 10 count.
Listen to this crowd. This is what it's all about. Wait a minute. What are Johnny and Trent doing out there? The big bump out to the head.
Speaking of the
head of Nick Gage. What are they doing? What are they doing? Yakuza kick. Yakuza kick. Yakuza kick. Johnny and Trent with the high five. What a bunch of cowards. What a bunch of cowards.
Eric, they're the champs, Eric. They are the champs.
They just laid out Nick Gage. And it looks like it's going to allow Eddie Valentine to sneak in there for a victory. And that's it.
And it's over. I can't believe this.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the match and the #1 contenders of the CZW World Tag Team Championship.
Maybe it was the haircut, John House. Maybe it was that 1987 haircut was what he needed for good luck. But VD now find themselves in line to challenge the Backseat Boys here on February 9th.
Eddie Valentine stole a victory, Eric.
And Nate Hatred has gone nuts. Look at Dewey. And after months of battling, sweating, injury, VD will get the Backseat Boys once again.
The Hate Club is not happy, Eric.
Look at Dewey going nuts in there like somebody took his pig away from him.
Imagine what destruction they are going to cause now, Eric.
Imagine what the Hate Club will do once they do get their hands on the Backseat Boys.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for. And it's for the CZW and Big Japan Junior Heavyweight Championship. Introducing first, from South Philly, Japan, weighing at 9.5 inches, is the CZW and Big Japan Junior Heavyweight Champion, Trent.
Trent Acid has beat Ruckus, yes, but he has never beaten Winger in all their matches. Look at the arrogance of this guy. He has 3 belts with him. He is holding 3 belts around him.
Let's rephrase that, Eric. The fact is, Ruckus has never pinned Trent Acid. And number 2, Ruckus is not even a junior heavyweight. He's 360 pounds.
Look at this idiot. He's all blown up for bringing 3 belts to the ring with him. What a moron. How stupid is that?
He's got 3 belts. You're absolutely right, Eric Gargiulo. But the weight requirement to be a junior heavyweight is 210 pounds. Ruckus is 360.
So what that means is the match where Trent Acid beat Ruckus didn't count because it wasn't a junior title match. Is that what you're telling me? Now he's got 3 belts.
Oh, it counted, Eric. It counted.
And he's blown up again. I thought he had that 3rd belt the first time. It's hard to see from our vantage point.
He's got 3 belts, Eric. You have any idea what it's like carrying 3 championship belts to the ring?
He's an idiot.
I didn't think so.
He's an idiot. He's blown up. How stupid can you be? Look at the arrogance of this guy. He doesn't even take his challenger seriously. It's going to come back to bite him. It's going to come back to bite him. Confidence. He's blown up. He's already expended a ton of energy.
You have any idea what it's like carrying 60 pounds of weight to the ring, Eric?
I carry you every week on Fake You TV. I'm used to carrying whatever you weigh.
That is a champion right there, Gargiulo.
It doesn't get any better than that. Can you imagine being as young as he is and as talented and holding that many belts? All right, stop having a conversation with the camera. John House, this has to be a personal challenge that Trent Acid has to make to himself. Can he finally end the controversy? Enough of this Winger talk, enough of this Ruckus talk. Is he the man or isn't he?
Does Trent Acid have to beat Ruckus?
John House, let me tell you this. Ruckus has a very distinct advantage of this matchup as he is undefeated in 3-way dances with Trent Acid. Undefeated.
He's 150 pounds heavier than Trent Acid, Eric. That is not fair.
He didn't complain when Acid beat him.
Trent Acid has already defeated Ruckus several times. That controversy should be over, but you insist I'll keep bringing it up and making more problems for our junior heavyweight champion.
Ruckus holding up both belts. The Big Japan and CZW junior heavyweight belts. Last month, Winger came here from out of nowhere, stole both belts, brought them to Japan, returned here tonight, and will challenge officially for those belts.
Ruckus has no business walking around with those titles. They're not his. He hasn't earned those belts.
Trent Acid doesn't even want to be in the same ring with Ruckus. He's left. He left. He went to the concession stand or something. He left.
Where'd he go, Eric?
He's running away from him just like he's been running away from Gage and Adrian.
He's taking a break.
He's with the fans.
Bam! From Trent Acid. Look at the champ going right to work, wasting no time on his attack. A winger.
Trent Acid now all over Winger. Ruckus just standing in the ring. His best bet may be to let them fight it out along the aisleway in Japan on December 2nd in Yokohama. Look at him, he ripped the mask right off him. Arrogance, absolute arrogance on our champion. Look at him dancing in there.
Aren't you proud of our champion, Eric?
I want to spit at the screen right now. What do you think the parents of Trent Acid are thinking watch this match? I'm sure they're real proud of him.
Watch out for Ruckus.
Ruckus up and over. Ruckus has had enough. Ruckus stands for everything that Trent Acid stands for everything that Ruckus is against. Ruckus isn't about being cocky, arrogant, showing up your opponent.
And Ruckus is not about being a champion either, Eric Gargiulo.
Ruckus is a fighting champion, came back here to CZW after winning those belts on December 2nd in Yokohama Arena, pinning Winger in that three-way, defending him against Trent Acid, of course losing the match with the interference from Johnny Kashmir and that damn ladder.
Big right hands there by Winger on the Ruckus.
And Winger right now all over Ruckus. Winger, of course, recently missed 2 months of action with a broken leg, so he may have a little bit of ring rust left.
Eric Gargiulo, is this the first time the Winger has worked here in CZW without his mask?
I don't know. I don't pay attention to things like that. Winger, of course, came into CZW back in May for our Best of the Best Juniors tournament, in which he went to the finals and pinned Trent Acid.
Eric Gargiulo, must I remind you that Trent Acid had 5 matches in the Best of the Best tournament.
That's right, his best
He
friend.
took on 5 opponents.
That's right, his best friend screwed around with him, didn't he, that night?
Yeah, you always fail to bring that up.
Absolutely.
Winger only had 4 matches.
Ruckus misses with the flying body press. Winger up and over. Whoa! It's around with the corkscrew. Of course, Ruckus was never pinned during the Best of the Best. John House, can Trent Acid shake the monkey of Winger off his back? He is 0-2 in singles matches with Winger, and his very first big title defense of the CZW Junior Heavyweight Championship in the summer of 2000. Trent Acid went over to Japan, cocky, overconfident, and lost the belt to Winger. And of course, he lost once again, as we mentioned earlier, or excuse me, I mentioned earlier, at Best of the Best in May.
What kind of stupid question is that, Eric? Trent Acid does not have to beat Ruckus or Winger. They have to beat him.
Ruckus can pin Winger and get the belts. Winger can pin Ruckus. That's not necessarily true.
No, that is not fair.
Trent Acid right now, and Ruckus battling it out. Ruckus now brings it back to the ring.
Look how Trent uses that bottom rope to block that big suplex attempt there by Ruckus.
Trent Acid now, Yakuza kick, Yakuza kick, and the momentum peaks Ruckus right on the top rope.
That's what I'm talking about.
Trent Acid, of course, is a 3-time CZW Junior Heavyweight Champion.
Ruckus is fat, Eric. He should not be in a junior heavyweight match.
He's here. Did it matter when Trent Acid beat him before in those junior matches? No. Did it matter last month when Trent Acid pinned him? No. All of a sudden, you have a problem with it.
Oh, yeah, big problem. He had to stop eating since.
Of course, the Winger came over here last month, unexpected. Came into the ring, took both belts back to Japan. Trent Acid now wants Winger. You know that Trent Acid wants nothing more from personal pride than to pin Winger and end this streak of victories that Winger has over Trent Acid.
I saw Ruckus hanging outside on the corner of Swanson and Richter, and someone told him to beat it, and he had to leave twice. He's so fat.
Enough. Trent Acid now, very cocky with the right hand to Winger.
Look at those big solid right hands there by the champ.
Winger, 29 years old, 10.5-year veteran of this sport. Trent Acid sits out, takes Winger into a sunset flip pinning combination, shoots Winger off, Winger with the reversal. Trent Acid up. Very quick maneuver from Trent Acid. Again with the second sunset flip in a row. When have you ever seen anybody go for a second sunset flip in a row?
Beautiful bridge out there by Trent.
Backslide. Winger. No, not enough. Many made
It's going to take a lot more than that to put away Trent Acid, Eric.
Trent Acid now with the tornado DDT. No. Holds on.
Look at those closed fist right hands into the midsection of Trent Acid, and those right hands are illegal. They are closed fists.
Winger now up. Looks like he's going to go for a superplex here. A block by Trent Acid. Trent Acid now sits out with a Blue Thunder driver.
And he drops the winger face first, right onto his face. He's going to need that mask after this match.
Trent now winding up for a big clothesline. Ruckus with the afterburner into a corkscrew. Nails him with a kick right to the face. Ruckus with the razzle-dazzle. He's going to take liberties with Winger, too. Ruckus going for another razzle-dazzle. Oh! Takes Trent over. The fans love Ruckus here.
And I don't know why either.
Sends him over the top rope. Winger hangs on, being a crafty veteran that he is. Shoots Trent in. Trent with the reversal. Trent now has it for a wheel suplex. All right, enough acid. Behind you has the Kashmir, the winger. The drop kick off the top rope. Both wrestlers, all three wrestlers at this point on the mat, unable to move. Brian Logan setting in the count.
You ain't got nothing to worry about. I'll never make it to 10, Eric.
John, what would happen if the winger...
You can't count to 10.
That's true, John. What would happen if the winger was to win this match and bring both belts back to Japan? Remember, it was Acid that lost our junior belt in the first place to Winger. That idiot left it over in Japan for over a year.
That would be a major catastrophe, Eric, but I'll tell you one thing. It will never happen.
Winger now up, the big right hand. Trent Acid now, eye rake. Trent Acid. Ruckus now lands on his feet. Trent Acid lands on his feet as he was going for a side suplex there. Winger now, the side suplex. A triple suplex. Oh! You gotta love that.
And I think all three of them felt the effects of that one. Especially when you got 360 pounds of fat Ruckus landing.
All right, enough already. You seem to know a lot about Ruckus tonight, but once you did your homework.
Hey, I saw Ruckus put his pants on. He had to use a boomerang to get his belt on.
Anything else you'd like to say?
I didn't think so.
Right now, all three wrestlers down. Who wants it more? It's cut check time. It's cut check time for Ruckus. Is he going to end all this talk about Trent Acid beating him last month? Is Trent Acid going to end the streak of Winger with victories over Trent Acid? Or is Winger going to finally bring those belts back to Japan? Almost like a situation in 1980 with the Russian hockey team. They sent Winger over here from Japan to bring back those belts. Yet, he has not been unable to do so.
Well, Eric, this is his big night. This is his big chance. And he's in there with Ruckus and our superstar, our champion, Trent Acid.
Ruckus hits the STO on Winger. Winger now getting to his feet. Trent Acid now with a superplex. Winger now up. The sunset flip and a superplex. You gotta be kidding me, Winger. John House, I asked the question, who wants it more? It looks like Winger wants it more at this point.
I don't know, that remains to be seen, Eric Gargiulo. You seem to be very impartial to Ruckus and Winger in this match.
Oh, I want Ruckus to win. I'll tell you right now. I'd like to see him end the cocky streak of Trent Acid.
We have a great champion. You should be proud of that man. He's holding 3 titles at one time.
I'd like to see him beat somebody without the help of his partner, Johnny Kashmir. Ruckus now on the sunset flip. Oh! A power bomb of Winger. You gotta be kidding me.
That may have just snapped Winger's neck. The way he just catapulted up against that bottom rope.
Easy for you to say. Ruckus and Trent Acid now both off their feet. The first man.
Did you see his neck snap across that bottom rope?
Again, who wants it more? Trent Acid, the striker. Ruckus, of course, likes to take to the air. Ruckus now with a gut wrench. Has him on his shoulder. Handles the arm. Slams Trent Acid down to the mat.
He almost pulled his arm right out of his socket with that one, Eric.
Ruckus likes to call that the spinning bomb. And Winger, after taking that very bad landing, still back on his feet. Northern Light suplex. Ooh. Ruckus getting more impact out of that by just dropping him instead of going for that bridge.
It looks like Ruckus is setting the Winger up for something. It could be anything.
John, think about it. Ruckus has never lost to Trent Acid in 3-way matches. Never. Not once.
Well, it's a first time for everything, Gargiulo.
Trent Acid now behind him. Trent Acid up top on the top rope. Oh! Trent Acid, excuse me!
He calls that the LSD, Gargiulo.
LSD, what does that stand for? Trent Acid now. The fans coming to their feet. Hip toss, no, a block by the Winger. Hurricane Rana takes Trent Acid over the top rope. Ruckus on his back. Does Ruckus want it bad enough? Does Ruckus have anything left to get to his feet?
And what a shame it is, Eric. Trent had Ruckus right where he wanted him until the winger interjected himself. It screwed everything up.
Surprised we haven't seen Kashmir yet with that battle at ladder. Winger getting the fans behind him. Trent Aston with a chair in his hand. I don't think Winger's noticed it. Winger spent too much time getting the fans' approval. That chair knocked Winger off balance. Winger looked like he was going for that cannonball senton. Trent Aston with a big right. Going for the acid bomb.
And this could be it if he hits this.
Acid bomb. Acid bomb. Haven't seen him hit that in a while. How much does Winger have left? Ruckus now back to his feet. Ruckus hits the ropes quickly. Look at the agility from that big man. Oh! 450 lands right on the back of Trent Aston, and Trent Aston is feeling it. Ruckus now up top. Has Winger in position. 450! And that's gonna be it! That's it! We got a new champion! We got a new champion! That's it! We can be proud of.
This is not fair,
Hell with Trent Aston.
Something has to be done about this.
The hell with Trent Aston. Those belts. I'm damn proud to call Ruckus our junior heavyweight belt champion.
Yeah, whoa, 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 whoa.
Where were we the first time, you moron?
He said, whoa.
How does he buy a pair of jeans that fits him? Haven't we seen enough of him tonight? What's the Rebel doing with them? He's got to work from the Athletic Commission with them.
What's Johnny Kashmir got in his hand, Eric?
It's like a scale.
Finally, someone's going to do something.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he plays by the rules.
Seems very comfortable with that microphone close to his mouth, doesn't he, House? Oh, those two have some history, John House. Ruckus and the Rock and Rebel have some major history here in CZW, John.
I don't think Rebel likes Ruckus very much, but he has a job to do, Eric.
Can't he take his boots off?
295 pounds.
295?
Oh, come on. What are you insinuating, you racist? What? Maybe his boots weigh 80.
He's 90 pounds overweight.
Yakuza kicking a block. And it's one-on-one between Winger and Trent Aston. Scaled to the back of the head of Kashmir. And the Rebel from behind. And
Ruckus has been getting away with being a junior heavyweight for too long. Somebody had to do something about it.
Yakuza kick. Yakuza kick.
Yes!
Say goodbye to the monkey, Trent Aston.
Ladies and gentlemen, CZW and Big Japan Junior Heavyweight Champion, Trent Aston.
He's not the champion. Winger was pinned tonight. The match was over. Ruckus,
It was not over.
Ruckus should be the champion.
Ruckus should never even have been in this matchup.
You know it, I know it, and the fans know it, and so do those three goofs. Makes me sick. Can he beat anybody clean, John? Can he beat anybody clean?
He's got 3 belts, Eric. the rules are followed, Eric. Look who the champion is. Stand up and show him some respect, will you?
The people down there are wearing fur coats and heavy clothing because hell is just frozen over because we are seeing Messiah here in Combat Zone Wrestling.
Eric Arjulo, I don't know much about this Messiah, but one thing I do know, he is stepping inside the ring with the greatest CZW World Heavyweight Champion ever to set foot in this building in South Philadelphia.
It's gonna come apart here at the seams tonight on Big U TV. Still in a state of shock at the arrival of the Messiah. Underway. It looks like our champion is not too impressed at the arrival of Messiah. And John House, as we pointed out earlier, look at that,
he takes it right to the outside.
He never got competition like this where he came from.
His momentum carried himself over the ropes as well as Messiah.
Of course, he is a former world champion in that other porno organization out in California, XPW. But the key, John, as you pointed out earlier, is he never lost that belt. He never lost that belt. He was never pinned for that belt. So in SCQ, I have a champion versus champion matchup here tonight.
I think Justice Payne has lost it. He just threw the Messiah into a bunch of fans sitting in the third and fourth row here in the new ECW arena.
They are all over this building. And a chair to the top of the head of Messiah. You know, it's easy to be a champion in an organization with that kind of competition. But out here at CZW, you got to go through guys like Justice Payne to get the world championship here.
Yeah, what kind of champion is that anyway? You're a champion of a porn organization?
I guess you're the champion of porn. Once you get a belt, a box of tissues. And right now, they're brawling all over the bleachers. Justice Payne is feeling it. Justice Payne right now looks like he's going for a pile driver. Messiah reverses this.
Whoa!
That could be a major back injury. Landed right on his tailbone. To a world champion. Right now, Messiah gathering his senses of battle. What a big matchup here this is tonight. The media is going to eat this up.
And Eric Arjulo, what a champion we have. He issued out an open challenge to anybody, inside or outside of CZW.
Oh, I believe Nick Gage answered the challenge and was turned down.
Nick Gage already had a match. Did you hear the commission?
I heard him, unfortunately. Messiah all over Justice Payne. The last time we saw Justice Payne here put the white beater through one hell of a match. They each put each other through one hell of a match. What a matchup it was at the cage of Death 3. Wound up separating the shoulder of the white beater with that Payne throw off the top of the cage. Justice Payne wants to prove himself here tonight. He did not like the way that things ended at the cage of death. It was his night. He felt denied. And here tonight he's going to prove why he is the greatest champion of all time.
And just when everybody thought the title reign was going to come to an end, he destroyed the indestructible wife beater, and he's going to do the same against the Messiah here tonight.
Two very similar wrestlers in that they can fly with the junior heavyweights. Of course, both wrestlers, including Messiah, has been through a number of death matches, those hardcore matches, so they have a high threshold of pain. And of course, both world champions can wrestle with the best of them.
And you know, Justice Payne is our only Grand Slam champion. He has held every title here at CZW.
Absolutely. Justice Payne now bringing the Messiah back to the ring, throws him in.
Hey, you know, it was an open challenge. How come you didn't sign the open challenge, Gargiulo?
I was busy. Messiah now with a big boot, big right hand. Justice Payne, our franchise player here at CZW, the ace of our company. Some will say the same about Messiah when he was once associated with the company, the Holy Roller from Messiah. Takes the world champion off his feet. Can you imagine the ramifications, John House, if Messiah was to pin Justice Payne and take our belt back to California with him? We may never see it again.
Eric Gargiulo, I don't even want to think about that happening. It will never happen.
Messiah and Justice Payne, this is more than just a world championship match. This is a match of pride. This is a match that you can look at your opponent straight in the eye and say, I am the best. All the talk, all the rumors about you know, when Justice Payne is the champion, you had the fans, you had the media coming up to him and saying, hey, what about this Messiah? What about that Messiah out in California? He's pretty good too. Messiah, same thing. What about this Justice Payne tonight? We finally get to settle it.
Big clothesline there by Justice Payne.
Justice Payne has ran through all of the competition within CZW, but now he is starting to get competition out of CZW.
He almost took the Messiah's head off with that clothesline, Eric.
But what about the association between Justice Payne and the Rockin' Rebel? How could that play into effect here?
Rockin' Rebel is employed by the Pennsylvania State Athletic Commission. I don't know what you're talking about, Justice Payne and the Rebel.
Both trading.
They don't like each other.
Messiah hits the ropes, big leg lariat. Very agile for a man of his size. What do they say? You know, I hope he can keep his hands off the boss's wife around here. We can keep him around longer than a month.
He'd be a dead man, Gargiulo. Big right hand there by the Messiah.
Fired here too. Messiah shoots in the world champion. A water wheel slam from the challenger. Maybe he can keep his strategy in his pants in his company.
Messiah has got to stay on top of Justice Payne, Eric.
Interesting cover there, not enough to beat the world heavyweight champion. In my opinion, John, the most underrated wrestler in wrestling today, Justice Payne.
Taking on all comers and defeating all comers.
Except Nick Gage. Messiah shot into the ropes. Justice Payne. Messiah once again. Kidding me?
What was that?
Could be anything for Messiah. I don't know a lot about him. You don't know a lot about him.
All I know is right now it doesn't look good for our champion, Gargiulo. He has to find his second win.
Messiah with a cover. Messiah is a very interesting man. He'll speak of the Bible, he'll speak of religion, and yet he'll go out there and do moves like this to a fellow wrestler, a fellow human being. Interesting submission maneuver. Double underhook of the arms, stretching Justice Payne. I don't think Justice Payne has been stretched like this before.
And look at Rob Hartog right in position, asking the champ if he gives up.
Messiah here. You know, John, unlike other organizations where they bring back throwbacks, they bring back retroactive wrestlers from the 80s, from the early 90s, the mid-90s, the 70s, as their big surprises. No, we're here for the youth. The new generation of wrestling is CZW, Combat Zone Wrestling, the alternative.
Right across the back with that steel chair, and the champ has got to be feeling it.
When you're talking about the champ, which one, Messiah or Justice Payne?
Talking about our champion, Eric.
Messiah and Justice Payne will settle it. Who is the better man? Again, more than a belt is on the line. Bragging rights, pride,
big right hands there by the Messiah. Irish whip off the ropes.
Sets up that chair in the middle of the ring. Justice Payne turns him around. Oh! Bomb on top of the chair. How's this one going to end, John?
That was the Mondo quarters there by Rob Hartog.
It's like a demolition derby out there with human cars.
At this point, Eric, it seems like this match could go in any man's favor.
Justice Payne sliding out of the ring. How bad does Messiah want it? How bad does Justice Payne want it? Who will be denied?
Justice Payne looks like he's busted open across his forehead, Gargiulo.
Looks like he's having a hard time walking around the ring. Looks like he's looking for something. Remember, this is his house. He knows what's under the ring. He knows what's there. He knows how he placed the ring. He knows the ring. He knows the crowd. He knows everything about this place. Messiah knows nothing.
Justice Payne reaches underneath the ring and he pulls out a table.
One table. Looks like he's looking for something else. And a chair. The World Heavyweight Champion in control of his challenger. The World Champion doesn't seem too impressed at all with his challenger from California. The champion just buying his time in there. Oh, chair to the head. But you also have to remember, John, about the World Champion. He just finished a recent successful tour of Big Japan Pro Wrestling. He just returned to this country 2 days ago. That jet lag could be a big factor in this matchup the longer it goes on.
You would think he would have jet lag, Eric, but he's a fighting champion.
Justice Payne now sets up the table. Messiah now slow to get to his feet. Big chair to the back.
He just wrapped that chair right across the back of the Messiah.
Justice Payne, maybe the most resilient wrestler here in Combat Zone Wrestling, shoots the Messiah in, follows him up, over the top. You're not going to do that to our champ. It's almost like a battle of company pride. Messiah said he came here tonight because he heard this is where it's at. This is the hot company, the hot organization. Justice Payne all over his challenger.
Justice Payne just hit that blockbuster. This should be it.
Messiah gets a shoulder up. Messiah heard this is where it is. This is where the game is being played these days. And Justice Payne is supposed to be the best there is out there.
That was a very, very slow count by Rob Hartog.
Why don't you go in there and tell him about it? Justice Payne now unable to finish his challenger off. His challenger has a lot of fight in him tonight.
Looks like the champ is setting him up for something.
The champion has no fear. The champion will come flying at you from any part of the ring. Oh, excuse me, Messiah. Excuse me. And the champ is being beaten in his own game.
The Messiah, out of desperation, pushes Justice Payne off of that top turnbuckle through the timekeeper's table.
This Messiah just refuses to lose. He's not going to lay down that easy. Messiah can barely walk. Looks like he just got in a gang fight. The fans appreciative of the effort of this young man here tonight who has taken it to our world champion. Maybe like our champion has never been taken to before. Maybe would have had an easier night with Nick Gage. Maybe not. We'll never know.
Justice Payne never even seen that coming, Gargiulo, when he got pushed off of that top turnbuckle.
Justice Payne could barely even stand on his feet. He is in real bad shape right now. Springboard leg drop. Messiah feeling that one right on his tailbone.
He's got to hook the leg, Eric. You ain't going to pin Justice Payne if you don't grapevine that leg.
You know, this ain't the LA Sport Auditorium. The competition's a little stiffer here in Combat Zone Wrestling. Here's in the world famous, now known as CZW Arena. A lot of great wrestlers have walked into this building and graduated, so to speak. Messiah has been more than our class. What a kick, and another. The champ has come alive.
Oh, big power bomb there by the Messiah.
Messiah hits the crucifix bomb on the world champion. The champ kicks out. Not many people kicked out of that move before, but our champ did. If you're a CZW fan right now, you got to be pulling for our world heavyweight champion. If you hate CZW, you got to be pulling for the outsider. Messiah went for the running power bomb. World champion. Oh, overhead into the table. What a match up here. What a match. What do you think about world?
Awesome move there by Justice Payne.
What do you think about
That's
world?
what I think.
Well, let me finish my damn sentence. What do you think of our world champion now, John House?
I think he's our world champion.
Justice Payne now gathering whatever he can. Slides out of the ring. He's got to be looking for something out there.
Justice Payne had his opportunity to go over there and go for a cover and maybe end this match.
Messiah can't get to his feet. Justice Payne barely standing up, maybe going on instinct at this point. Setting up 2 chairs. And 4. Smart move maybe. It won't be if Messiah reverses this.
I don't think our champion just wants to win this match. I think he wants to end the career of the Messiah. They send him back to California.
Oh, he definitely wants to prove a point. He wants to prove a point to all the doubters of our champion at CZW, our company. He's fighting for us all. And as always with our champion, an incredible match we are seeing here tonight on Fake U TV. You know, I wish these newsletters and media outlets would wake up and smell it out there and recognize our champion as the wrestler that he is, as the greatest world champion out there right now. The wrestling world is afraid of CZW. They're afraid to recognize Justice Pain as a fighting world champion, as a legitimate athlete, legitimate competitor, legitimate world champion. They can wake up, you know what, the hell with them, the hell with you, John House.
That's right, Eric, and at 23 years old, he has defended that world title all across the world.
We don't need them. We didn't need them before. We don't need them now. Big drop kick into the face. Shoulder. Thought he was going to go for a sunset flip, instead hits the ropes. Justice Pain lands on his feet, very agile as our world champion. The Messiah hits the ropes. Oh! You gotta be kidding me! Excuse me, John House! Someone call 911! What's it gonna take? What's it gonna take to end this one? The carnage! The broken bodies.
Justice Pain set up those chairs on the outside, and the Messiah used those chairs against them.
For God's sake, John, this brutality has to come to an end at some point. It's gotta end. How's it gonna end? Is it gonna end with somebody getting broken in half? Is it gonna end with a murder? Somebody getting crippled? Handicapped?
And now the Messiah is busted open, Gargiulo.
Messiah rolls Justice Pain back into the ring. Goes for the pin.
That was a very smart move by the Messiah to get Justice Pain in the ring, go for a cover.
Again, the frustration setting in for the Messiah. But what you can't see on Fake U TV right now is all of the wrestlers in our locker room are watching this matchup on our stage, watching it intently, because they are not only fans of Justice Pain, they are rooting for CZW. No.
That was 2 3/4. He was just a heartbeat away of becoming our CZW heavyweight champion.
That was as close as it's going to come without our championship belt changing hands. Messiah spending a little bit too much time jaw-jacking with the CZW fans. Messiah expects to walk in here, have these fans, kisses behind. You gotta earn their respect. It's like everybody else here at CZW. Justice Pain reverses thing, catches him. Looks like he's gonna go. A CJ! A CJ! What is that? That's what he likes to call it. And Messiah with one arm up in the air, going on absolute instinct right now. The world champion fighting for his life, his belt, and the honor of our company. Rob Hartog now counting. If he reaches 10, it's over.
What the champ has got to do is make aware of where he is at in the ring and get over there and cover the Messiah.
All of our young wrestlers in the locker room, Ian Knox, Chris Cash, GQ, Chris Styles, all of our youngsters watching this match intently, trying to pick up some moves, trying to pick up some pointers, learning about the business. Maybe they could be there someday. Maybe the future CZW Wrestling Academy students could be there someday.
Big right hands there by the Messiah on the Justice Pain. Three big right hands.
This is just an absolute war in there right now, John. This is just an absolute war. Off the ropes, Messiah all over the champ. The sinner is what he likes to call that. Justice Pain escaping
2 3/4 there, Gargiulo.
Escaping the sinner. What's it going to take? Nothing that Messiah has been able to throw at Justice Pain has been able to end this matchup. Messiah has up the world champion. Oh! The fall from grace. Justice Pain just fell from grace. And that could be it, John House. That could be it.
All he has to do is roll over and cover him.
Everybody in our company up on this stage watching, their eyes glued to this matchup. This may be one of the greatest title matches I've ever seen.
That move may have taken just as much out of the Messiah as it did Justice Pain.
Messiah now up on his feet and rather quickly. John, our belt may be going to California.
It's going to be a porn belt.
It very well could be. Oh! Avalanche belly to belly. Takes Messiah off the top rope. Justice Pain pulling out all the stops right now.
Justice Pain just launched the Messiah 80% across that ring, Eric.
Not enough. What's it going to take? What's it going to take? These fans here tonight are witnessing a classic.
You know, it might take Rob Hartog to count a little bit faster to end this match.
Messiah looks to be just as good physically conditioned as our World Heavyweight Champion. Our champion's not going to blow him up. He's not going to blow our champion up.
So Rob Hartog looks blown up.
Chair to the head. Block. That's how we do it at CZW. And again.
This is it.
Bam! Pain thriller! Pain thriller! It's over, Eric!
It's over, Eric. Still heavyweight champion.
What do you think of our World Heavyweight Champion now?
No, what do you think about our World Heavyweight Champion now?
I think the champion is great. I respect the champion. The champion came in here tonight, fought a man he knew nothing about, and won the matchup. And what about Messiah? Coming in here from California. I gotta tell you, John, he proved himself to me, and I'm sure the fans here tonight in attendance.
It's gonna be a long trip home for the Messiah.
Will we see the Messiah again? Who knows? But what's gonna happen if Nick Gage gets his hands on the world champion?
There's our champ, Eric. Be proud of our champion.
I'm very proud of our champion at this moment. You can only deny him for so long. You can only deny him for so long.
Taking on all comers.
Getting into the ring right now to check on Messiah. Are they going to go at it again, John? That's what it's all about. Wait a minute! Yes! An ambush! It looks like the Messiah was in on this. Hardcore Nick Gage. There's a man that's not going to be denied.
Yeah, Justice Pain deserves this. Yeah! Do it!
Like the thief of the night.
Bam!
Broken in half! Broken in half! He just broke the champion.
That's what I'm talking about, Eric.
Look at the intensity of Nick Gage.
Here's our next champion right there.
If he's not going to give him the match, he's sure as hell going to take it, John.
Wait a minute!
February the 9th? Are you kidding me? Nick Gage, Justice Pain, here in the CZW Arena. My God, it's gonna break apart.
February the 9th, Eric, South Philadelphia. The new CZW Arena. Tickets on sale now.